Yes, remove that destination. Save changes. All right, so I knocked myself off the air by hitting my mouse with this dumbass book. Sorry about that. So it's a good thing. Good thing I wasn't in the middle of something. And yeah, this is a rough night. What is that? Parts. Yeah, remove that. I don't care. Whatever. La, 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 la. I knocked myself off the air, dumbass. Because I was showing this book and it literally fell apart into two pieces now. Because I've been using it so much. Not lately though, but see, it's in pieces now. And I gotta be careful because when it fell apart, it closed the browser for SteamYard. Sorry about that. So anyway, this book, what is going on with this? Can't get onto Twitch. I'm getting all these errors where slowly all the formats are saying no. Huh. I don't care. Whatever. Let's see which ones are on. I'll say hello again. What's up, Scarlett? I actually listened to the show we did the other night. I liked it. 4.5 hours though. I knocked myself off the air, dumbass. And I was just starting to talk about strategic. You might like this because it falls under self, not preservation, but you have to be self-sufficient. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Survivalists, preppers, whatever. I don't know if they're down. There's some weird shit going on. I tried signing on to this and all my login info was gone. So I had to text Dwayne really quick and get the live at Freedom Revolution, blah, 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 email and the stupid code and all that. So it's a weird night. And I just lost all the listeners because I shut down the browser for SteamYard and ended the show. I think. I don't know. Whatever. The show must go on. Yeah, I'm back on. I don't fucking know. Whatever. So I was talking about Joel Skousen and how he wrote this book, Strategic Relocation. This one's out of date and there's a new one out. So this one's outdated, but I've used this thing so much that it's falling apart, and I'm not going to use verbatim what's in here because this is outdated and for copyright laws. But I am going to say for instance, this book was a big decision on me moving to Colorado because what's up? I don't know. Bonnie's calling. Bum, 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 bum. Hello.
Where did you go off of YouTube? Are you back again? Or
yeah, I accidentally hit the mouse because the book I was showing fell apart, and it hit the mouse and closed the browser for SteamYard. So I knocked myself off the air.
I wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah, no, I'm still.
Was so sudden.
Yeah, no, it just literally it couldn't have happened any more perfect to knock myself off the air, and that's exactly what I did. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, where'd everybody go? And the book fell apart. The binding is literally falling apart with loose leaf pages, but then the binding from the weight of the book split in half, and it hit my mouse, and it threw me off the air. So I don't.
Oh yeah, because it's just like permanent buffering on YouTube right now.
Yep. Well, it should load again. I mean, I don't know. I'll check without throwing myself off the air. Let me see.
Oh wait, maybe you are on now.
I should be. It should.
Now you are.
Yeah.
Okay. I refreshed.
Yeah. It says parts. Now, why the fuck does it say parts?
No, wait. This is one from. No, that's not fresh. Hold on.
Yeah. No, it says parts. Now, why the fuck does it say parts? Yeah. See, that's me.
No, wait. This is one from.
Well, I'm on there. Trust me, because I just played it. You might have to refresh or something. So you watch the show on YouTube?
Okay, I hear myself. Okay, I'll turn this off now. Yeah. Okay, there you are.
I'm back, whether you like it or not.
I sometimes do Twitch because I get notifications from them, but not from YouTube. Go figure.
Well, you know what? Your timing's perfect because you can sit here and I don't know if Scarlett wants to come in if she's not eating steak in front of us.
Oh,
What?
love Scarlett.
Oh yeah, isn't she so wise? She's listening, so be careful what you say.
Oh, I'm always careful.
No,
but
I
you
know.
know what?
It's a joke.
I
It's
don't
a
have
joke.
anything bad to say about
I do,
Scarlett,
but not in
you
front of
know.
her face. No, just kidding. No, I'm not like that. I'm not like other people to do that to me, and I'm not insinuating. It's just that if you got something to say, just say it to me. You know, I mean, come
I
on,
agree.
You know,
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I've been called a
That's-
racist, and what's a guy that hates women? A meal miss something or whatever. What's that?
Oh,
I'm that too. Like, okay,
I don't even use that word. I've never called anybody that because I'm a misogynist. That's hard
okay.
to come to mind because I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't use it.
Yeah, whatever.
You know, I describe what people do. I don't call people names.
Misogynistic. Misogynistic. Oh, misogynistic.
No, you're.
Sounds like a
They
Japanese
just don't
fucking dish or
understand.
something. What is it? What am I?
You're not a misogynist. You're
No.
just. You know, you're
What?
a good person.
I try to be, but it doesn't seem to come across sometimes. But that's okay. I can't help people's perceptions. You got to listen to you've been listening to the show for a while now, and ever since what, Mel and I was starting doing it in January, right?
Oh yeah, it was January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure when you first started listening, you're like, what the hell? You got to listen to the show for a month, I think, to kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Actually, I picked up pretty quick on your dry sense of humor.
Dry
wit
sense of
and
humor.
sarcasm.
Okay. Dry sense of humor. Okay.
You do have that sometimes, and then you get, you know, then what you do is you just take a sudden jump, you know, over to sarcasm or something. It just didn't bother me. I could tell just right away. So
You must be one of our smarter listeners then, because some people just don't get it. I don't really. I've seen comments. What?
I think some people, there's a lot of, you know, like type people out there that just take everything personal, and which is kind of narcissistic. You know, it's
What, people taking it personally?
well, yeah, when especially the host doesn't really know you, and they say, you know, a smart ass crack or something. You know, they don't know you, so why are you taking it personally? They really don't know you. You know, that's what I think is crazy about a lot of people, you know, judging stuff right away like that. You know, listen for a while, for Pete's sake, and then make up your mind.
Right. And then you're going to
So-
find out I'm always right and you're wrong. And then it's just the perfect world. You'll enjoy the show.
Well, unless you're wrong, and then I'll let
Hey,
you
no,
know.
I am never wrong. How dare you? Of course, unless Scarlett's on here, then she's always right.
Scarlett is never wrong. Before she makes a statement. You know, I think when she's talking personally,
Yeah.
she may, but when she's being mindful, when she knows there's a possible audience, if you notice, she pauses and then she'll say a whole lot and we'll get it all out, but then she pauses for a while, you know, and stops and thinks. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
And that's her style.
I don't do that. I just, whatever comes out, and I have no idea where the word's coming from. I swear to God, especially when I get into my deep, like,
Well,
you complimented me on not on Facebook. I hate Facebook. YouTube, you know, and how nice it was. I mean, I think this was your best show. And I have no idea, and thank you for that, by the way, but I have no idea where that came from. It just comes out.
That is it was the real you with no planning on what you're going to say.
Right.
And it was the artist in you, the person who plays the guitar or
I don't know
what you know, which is your intuitive part. That's really right brain. And a lot of radio and artists and actors, that's where it comes from. It's
Mm-hmm.
just the way it is. So maybe that's why I understood you, because my dad was an actor and singer and did all those kinds of things. And he could, just switch from one character to someone else,
Yeah.
like a light switch. So,
Right.
and his current state of mind didn't necessarily affect what he was acting unless he was drawing from that
Right.
for a good reason. So,
Right.
and his music the same way.
Yeah, I actually understand what you're saying. That's when I say this, I go, this is a show. Okay? Whether you're listening to it or watching it or both, it's a show. It's like a TV show. I'm serious 90% of the time, but not directly at you and trying to make you think or figure out what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Otherwise, if I just came on here, and no offense to Charlotte or anybody else, if you sit here and think about what you're going to say, I mean, people can sense that and tell, and that's not very thought provoking. Or this has to be entertaining too.
Well, it just depends what you're doing. You're doing entertainment, comedy, music. You're doing all the above, the things that you're interested in, and an artist. And I'm kind of ADHD, so I just rattle off what comes to my mouth automatically. But and then there's other people who are just teachers, and they will talk about what they've learned and
all factual fact checker assholes.
Yeah. And we need all kinds. I guess it just depends what you like to listen to. I like spontaneity because it gets my mind off whatever's going on in the world. Even if you're talking about the world, it's kind of like energy starts bouncing around and it makes you think. And I think I said once before about how you made me think.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that. I know I made Mel think when I told her my opinions on why transgenders and gays are fucked up in the head and with the reincarnation thing. I know that floored her. Well, they are.
Did you just look at the Scarlett's post? I made some fridge pickles from cucumbers.
Yep.
Good for her.
I know I shared it on SteamYard. People are watching on Steam.
Good.
Yeah, I made some fresh pickles from cucumbers. No shit. Where else do you make them from? I grew, and I may have to put too much fresh garlic. I may have put too much fresh garlic on them. That's impossible. There's no such thing as too much garlic.
No, I don't think. You can't put too much.
No.
Sounds like she's planning on making, what do you call them? Reuben sandwiches with horseradish.
Don't. I just ate dinner.
Pickles.
You're going to make me hungry. I love Reuben sandwiches.
Yeah, they're good. With Swiss cheese.
Yeah, and the corned beef and the whole 9 yards. I love it. Oh my god.
Yeah. Great contrast in flavors and textures, and
so
I look at it from an artistic point of view. So
you're stuck in shithole Seattle, right? Or thereabouts?
Yeah, 30 miles north, which it keeps trying to creep up this way.
Okay.
But I think the other counties are starting to get really tired of what they're hearing down there. So,
well, and I want to share this book, and I want you involved if you don't mind. So we're going to play a game. Now, this book by Joel Skousen rates states for relocation based on things like what? Population density, cost of living, traffic, taxes, corruption, crime, gun liberty, alternative medicine, homeschooling, and military targets, which you're a big target there for sure.
Yeah, got a bullseye on my butt.
Yeah. But take a guess. Now, this is the 3rd edition. So he's changed it. He has the 4th edition. So this really isn't accurate, but we're going to have to jump in the time machine with Mr. Peabody and go back a few years because things have changed. And he made that point after COVID-19 and a lot of the cities and states turning from red to blue, and he lowered all the ratings on those. So, but take a guess. This book is probably 5 or 6, 7 years old. So
Okay.
we're going to go back to the year 2012, 2015, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Take a guess, 4 out of 5 stars. How many stars Washington State is?
And the more stars, the more dangerous it is.
No, the better. 5 out of 5
The better
is
it is.
yes.
1.
No, actually, you're wrong. And I did think about moving to. I love Seattle. I really do.
Well, Western Washington and Eastern Washington, which it only takes you 90 minutes to drive from Eastern Washington, like Ellensburg or Wenatchee, and
Yes.
you're over in Western Washington. You just go over the mountain. Eastern Washington is totally conservative. Even the sheriffs over there
Yes.
won't enforce the mask thing.
Yeah, and he says it in the book. And that's different climate. It's more of a desert climate.
Right, except for when you get into the very northeast part that borders Idaho, and then it's more pine trees, mountain. I mean, there's lots of acreage. I have friends that live over in Chewelah, and it's like, it's not a target for anything. I mean, if there's bad guys, they're going to run in the opposite direction because it's, it's hills and it snows a lot. It's right at 40-degree mountain, and,
yep.
and for skiing and all of that. But I've spent a lot of time over in Eastern Washington. So, I'm kind of used to it. I thought about buying property actually over there just in case. Can run with my van when it's finished.
Yeah, but where are you going to run to? Because I'm not joking here, and I don't want to scare people because I've been through 2012 in the meltdown in 08 and prepping and all that shit. So I was ready to bug out, and actually we were looking in the very northern. There's a town way up there, and I could read the book, but I don't want to. But we actually went up there, and it's like 5 miles from the Canadian border. And it's all mountains and beautiful. It's gorgeous up there.
It just because I used to hunt. That's been many, many, many years. But I've been all along that. In fact, some of the areas I hunted, if you weren't careful, you'd end up in Canada. In the mountains.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, and anywhere from Stehekin to going by Omak, and then you keep going farther east towards Idaho. The closer you get to Idaho and past, Grand Coulee Dam and all that stuff. And you get up there, then you've got the north of Spokane, which is really cheap taxes, property's cheap. A lot of people kind of bug out up in that area, and you're really close to the Canadian border, just like if you're going north up Highway 97, going past Wenatchee and north and by Omak, and it's even farther north. There's one small town right near the Canadian border, and there's lots of hills up there. And then I have another friend that built a place between there and Wenatchee. Unfortunately, they had a fire up there. They didn't spend time cleaning the land up around them, which you can prepare for that kind of thing if you just make sure there's no fuel. But I do it for something that has water accessible, and you get snow in the northern part, but that's okay. But you're not that far if you do need something major.
Right.
Like ride your motorcycle and land on your head. Of course, you wear your brain bucket, as I used to call them.
Yes, I do.
But good. But yeah. I'm just looking across that whole area, and a lot of it will be cost, and make sure there's no plans to put a highway through it, and that's what I was thinking. Even Colville, near the Indian reservation, is really close to the border, and Kettle Falls, and there's just some beautiful land up there. But 49 degrees is the mountain, which is latitude anyway. And but in the summer it's hot, but it's not as hot as central Washington. And then western Washington, if you get all the way up by the border, not far from Canada, because I used to drive up there and play in Vancouver and Richmond, and actually dated somebody up in Richmond, went across the border. But there's small towns up there, Rockport, just don't get in the areas where Mount Baker has lahars coming down. You don't stay low farther down the river. You got to know the land that you're in and the territory and sun exposure. And right now I am right close to Boeing, which, by the way, they say they're moving to South Carolina, I think it is, which Boeing has been here forever. It's the first Boeing for the 777, 737. Since I was born, they've been in Everett. And sounds like the CEOs are planning on sending it out there, which will do something interesting to the economy here. Prices could change. But then to the north, 25 miles north is Arlington, and behind it is the Jim Creek Naval Station, the radio station, which is a target. Yeah. I don't know if they use nuclear, but they would certainly go for it, some sort of missiles or something. But yeah, believe me, I've thought about this a lot, and that's why I've prepped. I myself could make it for a year, and I know on this side of the mountain all the weeds and things you can eat. I mean, pine trees. Then even you can make tea, they're high in vitamin C. Who knows that? So yeah, I'm very much prepper kind, and so yeah, I'm looking for property. My relatives, my sister and brother, think I'm nuts, but then we can keep this house here and I don't know, rent it or whatever to people if it gets really bad. But if it's looking really bad and people are getting really weird and coming up from Seattle, and it looks like they're going to turn us into
California,
East Berlin, East Berlin or California.
Yeah.
You just pop over the mountains, and Eastern Washington has kept pushing to separate from Washington to become its own separate state because it's conservative, and of course Olympia and Democrats run both parties, they won't even look at it. So.
Well, I use this book, and you can get the latest version from Infowars.com, just so if you want to buy it. And I've had Joel Skousen on when I was on Freedomizer Radio Network. It was probably 5, 6, 7, I don't know, something like that, like 2012, something. I don't know, can't remember exactly.
So Alex is still on. Then you can still find him online. I know he was blocked from. Yeah.
Who, Alex or?
Alex.
Yeah. Just go to Infowars.com and you can stream a show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just .com then.
Yeah.
He made a lot of enemies, that's for sure. So speaking his mind and digging up information but he has really good advice, and I think a lot of what he used to say is now coming true. And there's a lot of people, having to swallow their own words, and criticisms.
A lot of it's coming true. And Joel Skousen, a third of this book, or quarter of this book, is the whole premise of how all the countries are going to align for sides in World War III. And
we're real close.
And he said way back when in this book, I don't know what the published date is, but he said it was all centered around China. And, I'll be damned. That's what's going on right now. I mean, China keeps getting more pissed and doing stupid stuff. And
well, what really scares me, because I've been watching it closely.
Yep.
Listening to one of the Israeli news stations, and that they do in English. And I mean, Iran is doing stuff, really bad stuff, and they launched those 2 test missiles that were underground, and the words that are going back and forth. And North Korea has actually provided them with those missiles, not Russia. So of course, Israel knows a lot more where that stuff comes from. They've got amazing intelligence. So I think things could fall apart really quick in India and China.
Mhm.
And I'm looking here, Scarlett, what was it that I was just read that she said, let's see.
She's making Reuben sandwiches.
I wish I'd be there if she was. She watched Endgame last night, which is,
Yep.
yeah. It shows in our guts, we kind of know something's going to happen, and it's really, really close. And I think nobody wants to talk about it.
Well, of
So,
course they don't, but you have to, though, because that's how people are, and they don't want to talk about the 800-pound elephant in the room, but you have to. This book was copyrighted in 2010. So I've had this book for 10 years. And it looks like
yeah.
it. It
I
freaking
remember
looks
you-
like it.
One show mentioned you'd had that for 10 years, but
It's
didn't
10
talk
years
a
old.
lot about it on the, when we were talking about it, but it was a book you really, really are impressed with. And I know I've heard of it, so I should take a look at it.
Yeah, I this book will be a page turner if you can read it without reacting. If you're going to react to it and we're all just going to die and Jesus Christ, whatever, fuck that.
I'm not that way.
No, but some people are, because they don't want to.
These people, a big disaster happens and I'm in the middle of it. That's when I get calm and start looking for answers. That's me. I look for
Mhm.
ways out, or I worked at 911 and for quite a few years and that kind of stuff. And so I actually get calm and start thinking of a plan when I'm in the middle of
Right.
something instead of panicking.
Right, exactly. You think, like I did that episode, listen to your emotions. Don't shut them down. They're trying to tell you something. If you can handle it, that's the
Right.
whole point. The negative and the
Well,
positive.
Well, you've
What's
got
that?
to pay attention to the negative,
Yeah, but that's
because those are
yeah.
going to get you, in trouble. But you got to recognize them as being, where did this voice come from?
Yeah.
Who told me I could never accomplish something or never do something or never,
Oh my God, Dave sent me this thing he was talking about. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Yeah, the virus. They call the stuff Wuhan 400. There's
What?
just a I don't. It's called Dean Koontz. It's The Eyes of Darkness. It's got to be a fiction book.
Oh, I like Dean Koontz.
Yeah. Wuhan 400 is the perfect weapon. No shit.
Yeah.
It sure is. Okay, that's enough of that. I want to talk about surviving. Fucking. There was a guy on Alex Jones doing the last hour, and I forget his name. It was yesterday's show, and the head of who's all those rich fuckers that show up at the real elite place, and they all talk about money and all that stuff.
Oh, when they go to Europe, the 20, it starts with not an R. Is it an R?
I don't know that place.
Oh, the royal family.
Yeah.
The royal heritage lines from Germany and Austria.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yep. Well, the guy or the head of that guy or is involved of it wrote a book, and I want to buy it because he made predictions a couple years ago as to what was Bilderberg. Is it Bilderberg?
Yep. That's what Clarity said. Yeah, the Bilderberg Group. Yes.
Yeah.
Gates of
Davos. Davos is what I'm thinking of. But yeah, it's the same.
Oh, you're thinking of the other one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the same shit though. It's all the same assholes. So
They're all the same ones.
Yeah.
And you'll see Gates and
yeah.
Soros and all those people go there all the time, talking about changing the world economic system.
Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, one guy that is like really high up in that organization or group, whatever you want to call it, gang, wrote a book a couple years ago, and everything that he was saying is coming true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like black flash mobs or something, which is the BLM or whatever, or Antifa, but whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he it's almost like this whole thing, a button was pushed with the Wuhan virus, and then
It's choreographed.
yeah, it's a plan. It's
Look
planned.
at it from a movie and how things just a little bit happens here, and then this happens, and then things start linking to each other, and suddenly, you got to get the people to somehow not react and not fight.
It's impossible.
You've got to make them help.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
impossible unless you're awake. You're not going to be. And I'm getting to the point, because I've been doing this since 2008, on and off, trying to wake people up. And it's just like, it's almost a moot point right now. The people that are awake are the ones that need to go further down a rabbit hole and figure this stuff out, because as it's happening, you'll see it happen, and then you'll see forward in what you think's going to happen. Like I'm saying, it's a very vague comment for me to say this, but the election, if you think it's bad now, wait till right after the election. And that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on 3 months down the road.
Or wait until they decide to delay.
Whatever.
Election.
Yeah, whatever. But regardless of whenever they decide who won the presidency, the shit's going to hit the fan, because half the country's going to be pissed. And by that time, the second wave of this coronavirus is going to be coming. I mean, it's just literally, and that's going to be the nail in the coffin for the economy. And then you're going to have a vaccination shoved up your ass, probably literally. So it's all going to meet at a headway right around November and all the way through towards the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, I read somewhere today that the European Union and Europe basically has now finally financially hit bottom. Nobody's talking about it that much.
Nope.
But boy, that's a bad sign. We'll just have to see how our economy goes. But, we can all eat healthy for our immune systems and exercise and do all those
That's
things.
right. That's right. Or find a place where you're going to take your ass to strategically relocate so you can survive. And that's, I bought this book in 2010. I must have bought this thing before the Mayan calendar in 2020, because that's what really, really sent me down a rabbit hole, was that crap.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's where this book comes from.
I started looking at Eastern Washington 2 years ago because I felt this happening, looking at land. And the only reason why I haven't bought any yet is because I've just had this gut feeling that suddenly the value is going to go in the shithole, and property price, the values are going to go down. But people are having to give up their property. They can't, pay off their loans and stuff. And I'm just waiting for that opportunity where, could just even a couple acres, near water and, private, and where you can put a gate across your road. So, yoo-hoos from the city can't just come driving up. Because I know I can survive anywhere. I just know it.
Yeah. And so can I. And that's why, that's why you have an affinity with this show and network and whatever. But, so I used this book in way back in 2010. See, I was still happily married and blah, blah, blah. But after the meltdown in 08, that's what woke me up. And then 2012 was right around the corner. And I'm like, fuck, I better do something, because none of this is good. So I bought this book, and then my life really took a downturn, divorce, blah, 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 blah. And I was looking at this book again to refer. First, it was for protecting my family and everybody and making sure they were okay. But that's not my responsibility anymore. It's just me and my friends that'll listen, which some have, believe it or not. But Colorado, take a guess. Now, this is like from 2010. How many stars Colorado is?
Probably 2.5 or 3.
It's 4 stars, just like Washington.
Wow, because of the military and bases and
Well, yeah,
And,
4 out of 5 is pretty damn good. That, 5's the best. So,
right.
and that's what he says because of Cheyenne. Cheyenne being in Wyoming, not that far from here, an hour. And then you got the
Right.
Colorado Springs, and God knows how many missile silos hidden everywhere in the military industrial complex here, and NORAD, and all these shit that's here. It's definitely going to be a military target. When
Oh yeah, that's where my van came from.
Your
A
van,
guy that sells used military
yeah.
trucks, equipment and everything, and I won the bid on the van. And he usually doesn't sell vans, but it was a bug out van, and they took a bunch
Really?
of stuff out of it, but
Oh.
it was a bug out van.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Did it have a 50 cal in it?
I think it may have. I know they did some changes to it and for the mother-in-law, but there was a lot of strange. You could see that they had a lot of strange electrical equipment in there, and that's why I'm having somebody rewire it now and putting in a second battery that'll charge off the alternator instead of the other, so I can run some stuff off of that. And I'll probably take out a couple of the middle row of the chairs or one and just set it up. And even the back seat, you hit a button and it folds out into a bed. This is an old. It's a 92, so it's the old, it's big, it's old, it's heavy. The mileage isn't as good, but my gosh, it's built like a tank.
It sounds like a James Bond van.
I think it may have been at one point.
That'd be so cool.
The guy, Colorado Springs, they're out there in the desert, and you'll see all the tanks and stuff. I actually went on Google Earth and looked down at it before I agreed to buy it because I wanted to see if it was legit. And looked around. My gosh, there's tanks, there's Humvees, and he drove it over with a buddy. I paid him to do that, and it was half what it would have been if I'd had, professional come and do it. But yeah, he couldn't get into it and drive it anymore because he had lost his leg from the knee down on one side. He couldn't bend his leg, to get upside, and the son's mother-in-law couldn't, something happened to her, and so she couldn't do it. So it's, it was cushy and it was clean, and big old engine. It has a tow capacity like crazy, and overdrive,
Nice.
Like I say, not the best mileage, but it's kind of like I can throw a whole bunch of stuff in there, even a couple pets and stuff, and there's still
Sherman
in there.
Sherman.
Oh, Sherman loves the van. But yeah, they're working on it right now, putting in, they're going to do that battery and
satellite TV and a bar.
Well, hey, I want to be able to also plug it in if I'm somewhere into AC instead of off the battery. So I'm going to have them put that in too, so that I can do other stuff. So yeah, I figured why not? And hopefully it'll be done.
Party van. It'll be the Scooby-Doo. What's that? Mystery machine. The new mystery machine.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Hey, Reggie.
But some of the white paint has been coming off, and you look underneath, and it's like military, the green art, camouflage underneath the white. And I'm going, hey, this is cool.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
All right. So Scarlett's kind of picking up where I'm heading on this. So, because I was going to start asking people, they want to put their states in, but go slow.
Oh.
So she wants to know what Minnesota is. Take a guess. I'll give you 3 guesses. How many stars from 1 to 5? Somebody put it in the chat room. Scarlett, quit eating your fucking sandwich and your pickles and type. Please. I'm going to get fired. Wouldn't be the first time, though. Okay, whatever.
Well, and is she going to be in, she put 3 stars.
She's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I bet she's
exactly.
read the book. She reads everything.
Yeah, she's fucking with me. She's got this book right in front of her. I'm sure and shit's what she's doing. Yes, 3 stars.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so Pamela wants to know what Pennsylvania is. So you got to forgive me because this book is literally falling into pieces.
That's okay.
Pennsylvania, Oregon. You know, the further east you go, the worse it is. I'll give you a clue on that.
Yep. Eastern Oregon is very cool.
Population's horrible. Pennsylvania, take a guess.
I bet you it's a 2.
You're close.
Oh, really?
And it
Worse?
goes into
1.5?
half star. It goes into half stars. So
1.5.
it's 2. It's 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
Yeah, it's 2.5. So
Yeah. Well, you've got a lot of people from back in D.C. live there and in Virginia, and there's all kinds of stuff spread out, in all those states. So,
yeah.
but Clarity State. If it's Minnesota, is she going to be in Minnesota
Thanks.
when she moves,
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, she's staying.
or South Dakota?
No, she's. From what I understand, the other night they're staying in Minnesota, and then if that don't work, it's to South Dakota.
Oh, Dave's in New York. Oh, what do you? How many stars, Dave?
Oh, geez, yeah. It's not going to be good, especially. Well, like I said, this is from 2010, so I mean, but I'm sure it's way worse now.
Clarity put 1 star.
New York is how about go fuck yourself? It's 2.5 stars. That's higher than I thought it would be.
That is better than I thought. Well, New York State, if you get it in the upper part of the state, but New York City, bend over and kiss your butt goodbye.
Yep. Okay, anybody else? Hey, now what? I know this. You already know this, Dave? Then why are you listening to the fucking show? What? Why don't you call in and take over and you can run the show? And play some 80s music, please. I would love
Yeah.
What?
Scarlett, yeah, you and I, we have about the same rating, Washington and Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
We also have all the Scandinavians in Washington and Minnesota.
Minnesota,
the Norwegians
nice.
aren't in Minnesota. The Norwegians are in
I know.
Washington.
All hot blonde women. I couldn't fucking believe it. I told my son, "You're an idiot if you don't move to Duluth," because that's where we went. And I'm like, "Oh my god." But he didn't.
Well, I'm sure he had his reasons. So
don't we all? I would have moved. It's
Yeah.
too freaking cold up there, though.
in the winter,
Yeah.
you want 40 below with the wind
No,
chill.
I don't. No, I don't. I mean,
You can't go outside without
it's not much
Well, you
worse
just
than
don't go out.
Chicago in the winter. I mean, it's colder, but it's not. It's the same with the wind blowing off the lake and all that. I mean, forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. No, Timmy, you won't get fired. You're fired. I'm loved here. Oh, thank you. You do love me. Oh. You know what I want to know without getting in too much trouble is how, I'll be very vague about this, how an elected state servant can give you advice about public health and they stick their wiener in some guy's butthole. Okay, that's about as far as I'm going to go with that one.
Well, I guess their brain and their mouth are in one end of their body and the rest of them is on the other end. I don't know.
I just
Of course,
can't
most-
figure that out. I mean, even me being a guy and
Yeah.
with a woman, I've never had any type of desire to do that to a woman for a few reasons. It's just like, it's not right. And that's a woman with a guy. So it's like, it's just not.
Yeah, that's pretty disturbing,
I think so. Thank you.
Well, if you want to get advice from them, especially
we're gonna have to lock
survival
down.
financial.
We're gonna
you
have
know.
to lock down the state and wear your mask and be responsible and don't be selfish. And I'm gonna go home and stick my penis in my boyfriend's butthole. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, whatever you say. Okay, any more fucking I'll be back.
Pamela says
black-
3.5.
For what?
Oh, I'm just reading what she said.
No, for what? 3.5 for what? Did she bring a state up?
3.5. I think she was. Pamela, were you talking about Pennsylvania?
Because that was, what did I say it was? 2.5? Or I'm going through this book
No.
again, looking.
I was better. Yeah, Washington and Pennsylvania were the same. It was better off than I thought it would be. I think you said 3.5. 3.
So what do you think
3.5.
Texas would be? What did who say? What about Pence? You guys are confusing the shit out of me. About what? Well, I'm sorry if you're buffering. Am I buffering anywhere else? Reboot your computer or get a faster rate.
Not here
Yeah.
on Washington. You're not buffering, so probably your service.
If anybody misses any part of the show, like Tim being a stupid ass and cutting himself off, I record the whole show and then I upload it to Podbean. So if you miss anything or the show's in fragments or whatever the reason is, it's always in its entirety on podbean.com, just so you know. Okay. And Spotify for that matter. It's on Spotify too.
I like Podbean. I never knew about it.
I do
until you
too. I
brought
think
it
it's
up.
awesome. Podbean and Spreaker are the shit. If you want to be a big station or network like this, when I was at Freedom Revolution Network, I tried to get the owner to go to Spreaker and he wouldn't do it. And I'm not saying that Melissa and Scarlett listen to me, but they looked into Spreaker and they love it. And I'm like, well, that's what I would have picked. But yeah, Podbean for you, it's $10 a month and it's unlimited hours and you got your own little web page. I mean, if you've been on there, you've seen it. Plus you got the app and it's great. I mean, $10 a month, it's like 2 cups of Starbucks coffee. Who gives a shit?
Yep.
That's why I didn't cancel it. Guess what Texas is?
Oh, let's see. Texas. Would depend where you are. Probably 4.5.
Nope, you're high on that one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
3 then. Because of hurricanes?
Yep,
or?
3. I don't know. I'm not considering to read all it. I don't want him to get pissed at me. I don't think he's going to care. And like I said, this is all changed. He did say, though, because was it yesterday? No, a couple days ago. I don't know. What's today? Friday? Wednesday or Thursday, Joel Skousen, I think it was Wednesday's show, Joel Skousen was co-hosting with Alex Jones the whole day for the whole show. And he brought up Texas and he said all the Californians and all the crazy fuckers are moving to Texas. And he said Texas is going to turn blue.
Arizona too.
And he said that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could tell you everything that he said. You can listen to it and you're still not going to get 10% of what's in this book. This book is this one's 10 years old and it's still amazing. Although now it's outdated because the Wuhan virus and the dumb fucking Californians moving and dragging all their shit to different states and thinking it's going to change when it's not.
Yep. Plus, water is going to be an issue for much of Arizona and New Mexico. And
yep.
You want to have water, potable water.
Oh, so anyway, Scarlett was talking about salt. All right, Scarlett, did you disappear? Or are you eating your pickles or whatever? What do you think South Dakota is? And this probably hasn't changed much. And in fact, I'd probably say it's gone up because he said there's only going to be a few red states left, in his opinion, to relocate to. And Utah was one of them. And so was South Dakota.
Well, Utah will be, depending on if the governor and the, like Salt Lake City mayor and stuff don't become more conservative. I mean, the mayor of I think it was Salt Lake City, invited the United Nations to take over.
Oh, did
one
they?
Of their buildings.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, to take over to one of their buildings. It was a theater, I think it was, or community center, a large one right in town, and it's the UN's now. Oh, I don't know if I could go there or not.
Well, the UN's unconstitutional the way I look at it. They shouldn't even be on our property, but whatever.
Right. I agree.
I'm back. Daisy, I'm back, asshole. Okay. So now what? All right. So how many stars is South Dakota? I think Scarlett, like, she's listening, but she's either listening and not commenting or she just left. She has a habit of doing that. Or sometimes she just calls in. I mean, not calls in, but
she
breaks in.
has kids too.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh.
don't. I believe me, I get that part. So no guesses with South Dakota. You guys aren't. You're not playing my game here. God damn it! Hey, this is my show. We're playing. Guess how many stars? Forget all your comments and all this shit in the chat room. How many?
I thought you were waiting for Scarlett.
How many stars? I'm not. You're not in a chat room. You're being my co-host tonight, so that's fine.
Oh.
You're not. You're forgiven or immune to this comment.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, how
Your
many
Highness.
stars is South Dakota?
Well, I'm going to say 4.5, but
4.5.
I don't know what anyone else.
Okay. No.
Was it better?
No.
I can't imagine doing it.
There's only a couple
There were
states that
some
are.
missile silos.
There's
Yeah,
only.
so it's probably.
Go ahead.
Then I'll say 4.
Nope.
Depending
Wrong.
on what part you're in.
Wrong.
Really?
Wrong. 3. Yes. Ding, ding, ding. I don't have a ding, ding, ding.
So
Yeah, it's
Washington, Pennsylvania.
It's a boxing. That's a boxing ball, but it's good enough.
South Dakota.
What do you think's the best?
Oh, let's see. Probably Alaska.
No, actually, he says it's really bad because it's
Oh, is it?
the weather's so brutal. You would think that it's so remote and population's low and all that. Yeah, no, he says. Let me look and see what Alaska is actually, according
This
to
is the
this.
thing down by Ketchikan while you're farther south along the. Okay, Hawaii's so populated now.
No, Hawaii, you're fucked. There's nowhere to go. That's another part of it too. You have to have an escape route. What are you gonna do? Swim?
Yeah, and you never know when a volcano is going to decide to take the town.
Exactly.
So
I mean, I'll look at Hawaii too. It's kind of counterintuitive because if you think about it, the ones that you think are good aren't.
Yeah, I'm just Montana. Oh,
What the hell happened to Alaska? This book is literally falling apart. State by state
I
review.
imagine-
That's a good book.
I imagine at least Eastern Oregon and Montana.
All right, so guess how many stars? I just got to Alaska. We're like 10 states into this, and I can't find them all. How many stars is Alaska? Now, you would think it would be high. I would. All the wilderness and
Yeah.
the fishing and all that crap, but there's a couple reasons why it's bad. One is which it's not that far from Russia, which is a good point.
Well, it depends if you're down there by what is it, Canada, right along near the Queen Charlotte. Alaska goes way south.
Yeah, they
And
said the best place is the peninsula, wherever that is. So I mean,
Yep, that's
yeah, okay, that's what you're talking about.
yep.
So how many stars is it then?
Well, if they say it's that miserable, let's say 2.5.
You're close.
2.
It's 2. So not one of my.
Well, survivability if you don't know how to survive. People that have
Yeah,
lived
well,
up there for
Yep.
years, work all
Mhm.
year long,
And
getting
he said that. He said if you're not an outdoorsman and wilderness and all that kind of shit, for Alaska, forget it. And the weather sucks. He said that too. It's like it's brutal.
Oh yeah.
So it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And you can get cabin fever real easily.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And there's like for one woman, there's like 10 guys or something. I heard it's crazy.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. So how many stars is Hawaii? Since you brought
I'd
it
say
up.
2 for me. What do they make it a 4? Oh, I give up.
Zero.
what do you-
Zero.
No.
No. Here, want to see it? I don't know. You're not. Are you watching? Here. I don't know if this is showing it. Look. No stars.
Wow.
No stars. Who you calling old? Damn it.
Well, we're just looking for a little rocket man to
Kentucky.
toss a.
See, now this one's really rated high, 5 stars, and I wouldn't think it is, but it is.
Up in the mountains, probably.
It's
Yeah,
Idaho,
yeah,
Idaho,
mountains.
Idaho, Idaho tonight, tomorrow night maybe.
Well, that's why if either Washington right next to Idaho, or there's cities where you just go back and forth, and areas. So
yeah,
northern,
Montana.
that very north, the border area between Idaho and Washington, or what I've always felt.
Yeah, Idaho. I don't know. Oh, okay. So you said Montana. Guess how many stars it is?
I think Montana gets a lot, and Idaho, at least northern Idaho.
Okay, how many stars does Montana get?
Well, if they go by it being cold and miserable, except that you can drive places, I'd say Montana 3.5.
Nope. Guess again.
I'm wrong.
I'm gonna start paying
4.
people $20 if they get the answers because everybody's wrong. How many?
4.
You're close. Nope.
Well, we got 4.5 or 5.
There you go.
After
Only 2 left. 4.5 stars. Very good.
Yep.
So
I've got a friend, and she and her husband left Washington and left Western Washington and went up there, and they're up in the mountains up there, and have cabin and raise golden retrievers, and they have a log cabin actually up there, and decided they wanted to get away, and they have snowmobiles or
nice.
snowmobile or a cat for the winter.
I love snowmobiles. So much fun.
Yep. So yeah, I think the Pacific Northwest, as long as you're not near Seattle, because Seattle is in King County, and south of it is Tacoma, which is Pierce County, and the population is so high, they make the decisions for all other 33 counties in the state, because of the population. A lot of Washington is just kind of in the middle of the road. Eastern Washington more conservative. A lot of the counties north of Seattle, you're talking about people being way more moderate. But it's like the idiots in Seattle and Pierce County and Olympia, where the capital is, run everything. They're the ones making these stupid decisions.
All right. So Pamela wants to know Kentucky. How many stars are Kentucky? Is Kentucky?
Boy, I bet you it's when you're getting up there, especially if you're do they have the Ozarks in Kentucky?
No, I think it's a little south of that, but I could be wrong.
Okay, I was thinking the very northern.
I think that's like Arkansas, Missouri, around there. So more south.
The mountain areas in Kentucky have got to be great. And I think I looked at that once. It's like a 4. 5.
One more guess.
We'll take what Pamela says 3.
She's right. Yay.
You get the $20, Pamela.
Nope, too late. Too late for that. So All right. So what do you think? This is shocking. What do you think Utah is? Did we talk about this? I don't think so. What's Utah?
I like Utah. Except that it has a bazillion different old kind of dormant dead volcanoes all over it. Let's see. Utah's kind of a tough place to live. Like if an EMP went off and you had no electricity, you'd be in deep doo-doo in Utah.
As in most places, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's the way I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking, EMP,
Right.
I can.
Yeah, which the Chinese are going to figure out how to do that if they don't know already.
Oh, they know how. Yeah.
We are send the EMP. Blow you up. Round eye.
People will be eating a lot of deep fried grubs, and unless you know how to shoot a gun or a trap,
So how many stars? Utah.
Utah. Man, plus they have all of the radioactive stuff dumped there.
Oh,
Man,
there's a
I'd
lot
give it
of
1.5, and it's totally a 5.
Wrong. No. Number 2.
But that's for my reasons.
Right. I told you it's counterintuitive. So just the opposite of what you think, that's what you answer. For you, at least.
No, it can't be 4.
You're close, but no.
Pamela's,
Nope.
no, Pamela.
That's Arkansas.
Nope.
She's right, though.
That's
I'll just give you that. You're right, Pamela. Arkansas is 3. I'll give you that.
Okay, Dave, what do you think it is?
Last guess. $20. They had a
Oh,
drill.
Mike's on there. Mike said 2.
No, wrong. Wrong. That's it. It's 5.
No.
Yes, it is. Here, look. See, you said, and I didn't color it in. Here, look. See?
I like St. George, Utah.
It's
Saw an
5.
Amazing electrical storm there once.
5 stars for Utah. I don't know, though. Mormons drive me fucking bananas, so I don't think I can go there. And I sure as fuck don't want more than one wife. Sorry. Okay.
Wow.
What
What was the main draw to Utah? Did he indicate it?
Well, I don't want to get accused of plagiarism, but like I said, this is outdated. So, but he still did. He said that Utah, according to the show on Alex Jones the other day, that Utah is turning blue. It's not as
Ooh.
conservative as it used to be.
Well, Salt Lake, that's what happened, and that's why you've got the UN in the building in Salt Lake.
But
So-
does Marie Osmond still live there? Because she's still hot as shit. I would like to see her.
Yeah, I think the whole
She's
Osmond
beautiful. Oh my
family
god.
live there.
Oh, she's
Plus a sweet person too.
well, yeah. That would come in later. But I mean, she's. Yeah,
You like the
she's-
big brown eyes.
Well, she
that
was just
brunette.
beautiful. The Donnie Marie show when I was like probably 12 or 10 or whatever, or 13. I'm like,
I
oh
could
my
see a teenager
god,
boy going,
who is
ah.
that?
Yeah. Well, they were
Um,
all beautiful.
Oh, he had good looking
People,
family.
the whole
Yeah,
family.
absolutely. No, well, not all of them, but I mean, Donnie and Donnie. Mar-
Donnie and Marie.
yeah, they were doing a thing in Vegas, and then I almost went and saw it. But I mean, they're phenomenal. You can call me corny, whatever you want. They're really
Yeah.
great entertainers.
Yeah. Yep. They're very talented. Their whole family is supposed to be talented. The immediate family, anyway. So,
Yeah.
musicians, singers.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like. Yeah, they're nice. I like them. Always have. Let's see. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be in Salt Lake City or Provo. Big, huge earthquake fault running through both of them.
Oh, they also said in the latest edition, Joel Skousen said on Alex Jones, the caldera or whatever, Yellowstone, the fucker's ready to
Right.
blow.
Oh, does he think? Because
Yeah.
the caldera goes from, obviously the northwest corner or that area of Wyoming, but
Right.
that whole Yeah, it goes clear back into Idaho.
Yep.
And originally came up through Oregon, but now there's still magma chambers that are,
Magma.
yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Well, take a guess on what Wyoming is, since you brought it up, because this has changed in the new book. But 2010, guess what he said? How many stars Wyoming?
Well, I liked Wyoming until if you lived in it, you'd be toast. Yellowstone went off.
Yeah, we're all fucked if that thing blows. It's like it's not gonna matter.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, the winds
Oh, it's
come from the
horrible.
west to blow it away from Washington, so we get some, but
Horrible.
we're
One.
not in the death
What
part
movie?
of the bullseye.
Watch what movie?
That's what?
The hell's Dave talking about? What movie? What are you
What
talking about?
movie was it? The asteroid? No. Are you talking about asteroids or Yellowstone, Dave?
There's a movie called Yellowstone. I know there's a TV show. It's pretty good, actually.
They had that one that wasn't Yellowstone. I can't remember the actor.
Kevin,
It was in Washington State. They said a volcano went, and how it kind of built up. Suddenly people were gonna want a bubbly, warm pool, and poof, they scalded to death suddenly.
yeah, that
The
thing's.
town.
Yeah, that's just. This can be like Mount St. Helens times 10. I mean, it's just gonna be horrible.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Yellowstone, the movie Yellowstone. Yeah, how many stars?
Would be a foreign Wyoming for me.
What's that? Because you're breaking up.
As long as I'm not, volcano doesn't go off. I like that. It's cold.
So how many stars?
I'd give it 4. But
Oh my God! Oh, you're right. You hit that one right on the head. Very good.
Well, maybe I was right. How much I just for something about that part of Wyoming because
you figured it out very well. So just use that strategy for the rest of them, and you'll figure them out.
that was my gut instinct, though.
Well, see, you got to listen
none of the rest
to your.
were my gut instinct.
You got to listen to your gut. It's right every
I
time.
know.
Forget your
I gotta
head.
practice what I preach.
Yep. All right. Is there any more? Because I'm not. I mean, I could look up shithole Illinois, but I know it's not really anything.
Well,
In God's
I'm
name,
just
why you
trying to
want
think.
would be there?
There's really no other place. Eastern Oregon, southeastern Wyoming, and in the very, northern tips of where Washington and Idaho connect would be.
Yeah, Idaho's 5 stars, so that's interesting.
Oh, I love it up there. I've driven through there quite a few times.
Might have to check
I've
it
seen
out.
moose and everything. Grizzlies, everything driving through there.
Is this a moose? No.
No, that's a moo, not a moose.
Oh, sorry. All right, so shithole Illinois, my home state, is. Take a guess.
Illinois.
Yeah. How many stars?
3.
No, too high. Way too high.
It can't be a 2. My first impression was 2, but I didn't want to sound rude.
No, don't sound rude.
Oh, well, I didn't want to tear apart your birth state, so because I would say 2.
1.5. No, and there's nothing in that fucking state, so don't even think about going there.
Oh, I never.
Chicago's a sight to see. Don't go there in February or August. Go there like in spring, summer, possibly fall, and you got to see Chicago. I mean, Chicago's beautiful. The skyscrapers, and it's.
I thought it would be fun to show up there. We couldn't afford to buy anything there, but
no, don't live there. Just get in and get out and get the hell out of there. I mean, it's
we'll get some good pizza.
Yes, you got to get some pizza and hot dogs and a good Italian beef. because you can't find it in Colorado for nothing. And I don't know what the big deal is, but you can't. All right, I'm going to start bringing up ones that surprised me. I'm just thumbing through the book. So.
Did Georgia surprise you? No.
I don't know. I didn't look at it. Hang on. I'm in the M's.
Okay.
Let me go back.
I'll shut up.
Nope, that's fine.
We want to hear what you.
What do you think Florida is?
Oh, it's bad. 1.5.
Nope.
It's better than that.
Nope.
1.
Nope.
Your Pam says 3. She's always right.
Nope.
Oh, that's her old one. Well, my gosh, you're either going to fall into a sinkhole or get drowned by a hurricane.
There's only 2 interstates to get in and out of Florida. So, I mean, it's like, one way in.
Is it 0 then?
Yeah, it's 0. Yeah, it's 0. There's no stars. Stay out of Florida. And quite actually, I had a job interview and an offer in Florida. And then a friend that I've known for 40 years called me a woman hater and said I was just like my ex-wife. And I'm like, okay, red flag number 1. And then they had the second wave down there. That was red flag number 2. And then I went through this book and it's 0 stars. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to Florida. So.
It doesn't have any place with even really any elevation unless you're getting up by Georgia or, the very north border. I mean, gosh, you get a big tsunami. It's kind of like, bye-bye, Florida. One of my very best friends just moved down there to retire, and she left outside northeastern Washington by Chewelah, Idaho. She moved from there. So I think she was crazy.
She is. She's not too smart. But see, people, I even thought about it, but I knew better. And then with the hurricanes and all that shit, I mean, I love Key West. I mean, that's about as close as you're going to get to being in the Caribbean without being in the Caribbean. But
that's true.
Whatever.
Or you could go to Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory, and
right.
just lose your house every 3 years.
Right. Yeah, no, it's very poor. I don't know. I have never been to Puerto Rico, but I wanted to go, but it's on my to-do list just to go there. Check it out.
Yeah. It's you would just look where, be careful about where you went. But
right.
There's still a lot of undeveloped areas in Puerto Rico, which is very, very poor.
Right.
And corrupt.
And no electricity because we still haven't turned it back on yet. What about Georgia? You said Georgia, right?
Yeah. I
take a guess.
Northern part of Georgia, I think, could be nice. I mean, you're still affected by hurricanes and stuff, but if you're in the north central part of the state, it's probably a 3.
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Is it better?
Fucking forgot. Yeah. No, it's not better.
Okay. I know taxes are low there, but then I guess that wouldn't be an issue if we had a major disaster.
Yeah.
EMP.
It wouldn't matter. Taxes are going to be least of your worries.
Yeah. Plus you have all those poisonous snakes. I don't like them.
They got good tea though and ribs. I like the barbecue.
Yeah. That's good. Well, Kansas City has good barbecue.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So how many stars is Georgia? Before I forget.
2.5.
No, you're close.
2.
Yes, you win.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't that. Great.
Did I say what South Dakota was? Because Scarlett might move there. I might move there. I don't know. It's very conservative, I heard.
Yeah, you ought to look at that, and see. It's always good if you know that there's other like-minded people around.
Yes. So. And I never thought that would make a difference because I never, ever cared about politics because I didn't care so much that I had the mindset that it wasn't going to affect me. But you just have to be a total moron now that with what's going on with this COVID-19 that there's just a whole different attitude between conservatives and liberals on this stuff. And it's just like, you don't take down.
You want to survive. you want to have at least a bit of an idea who your neighbors are. And
Yes.
conservatives tend to
Yes.
connect
Yes.
more.
Yeah.
Well, liberals tend to isolate unless they're marching somewhere.
Yep. All right. This one shocks me. Washington State. No, we talked about that. I was
You
thinking
did
of
that
Washington.
already. That's me.
I was thinking of Washington D.C. Forget, it's like 4 stars for
Ugh,
Washington.
Lord
That's a
Almighty.
shithole. I wouldn't fucking live there for nothing. My bad.
Washington D.C. would be a 0.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Oh, and then on top of that, he goes through the entire planet. It's not just the United States. He goes through South America and friggin' Mexico. I mean, everywhere. Europe. I mean, this is a phenomenal book, and I don't want to get into that because I'm not leaving the country unless Biden fucking wins, and I'm out of here. But and it's kind of
Right.
a joke. But
And then where do you go now? They've
that's the thing.
messed it up.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I have friends that bought property in Costa Rica just to get away from everything, but
Yeah.
it's changed politically since they did that quite a bit.
He brought all that up. I really highly recommend that you go to Infowars.com, and I think it's in the survival it's Infowars.com in the store tab, and then I think it's survival tab. And the DVD and the
Okay.
latest book for this it's worth the $50. You get this book. It's lasted me 10 years, and I can't tell you how many times I've loaned it out to friends or thumbed through it, or it's more of a reference. It's not a book where you read it and they live happily ever
Right.
after. It's a reference. You're always going to go to it.
But it's a useful reference, and those kind of books are,
Yeah.
for years, I think a lot of us have had this gut feeling that things were going to change,
Yeah.
right. drastically.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you pay attention to stuff like that, and pretty soon, more and more things happen. More and more you find yourself looking at that kind of material. Opening the back door. Sherman, are you going to come in? I'm not going to go play ball.
Sherman!
No, we're not going to play catch. He heard you.
Did
He
he?
has good hearing. He has really good hearing. But, he can go to the neighbor, take his tennis ball to the side, towards the sidewalk. Through the fence, there's a pipe that goes through the fence. And he drops the ball from his side of the fence through it when somebody's out there to get them to pick it up and throw it back to his side of the fence out in the yard.
Cool.
He learned that in about 5 minutes. So, because it's a ball,
He
if
likes playing
it was
fetch.
anything else,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have bothered.
Right. Well, I threw a post or a link up, and it only came out
Okay.
on YouTube, I think. Facebook blocked it right away. So did Periscope.
I'll
Twitter.
find it.
Yeah, but it's in the chat room. For some reason, YouTube didn't block it. So you guys, I made it really easy for you. I'll even highlight it on the screen. There's the book.
Yeah.
Worth the $50. I mean, I bought this 10 years ago, and I think Mel, we were talking about it one morning, and she looked it up on Amazon, and this freaking book was like $1,400. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm sure that's not true now because he has the revised 4th edition. So this really isn't worth the paper it's written on because things have changed. But
Wow.
what's Wyoming? Wyoming's up there. It's like 4.5 stars. Here, I'll look.
Yeah, that southeastern part of Wyoming.
But he did
Oh,
downgrade it because
interesting.
of Yellowstone. He did downgrade it. I don't know what. See,
Yeah.
that's why I want you to buy the book because, I can only tell you so much and will tell you so much. But I'm telling you, this book has just been, it's 4 stars. Wyoming's 4 stars.
Wow.
But I think it went down because Yellowstone is rumbling. So.
Yeah, it's acting up quite a bit right now.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Yeah.
There's preparedness.
Yeah, it's on that. And then media, I think I clicked on.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm there on that page. So let's see.
I clicked on store preparedness, and then I think related media.
Right.
Bottom.
Survival.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there it is. So it's a phenomenal book. And, you know, when things calm down, I'll try to, he was really nice. I couldn't fucking believe it. It's like, well, you got to get a guest, Tim, you know, an interview. So I'm like, well, why not Joel Skousen? So I actually emailed him and he said yes. And I'm like, holy shit.
Wow.
I mean, I'll try to find
That's very
it.
cool.
I'll try to find it in the archives, but you're going back 7-8 years ago, and I'd have to dig through Blog Talk Radio, which I can't stand that place. But
Wow. So it was definitely. I remember hearing about it a lot because I thought it was probably one that was pretty reasonable, but I probably didn't buy it way back then because it was pretty expensive, even way back.
yeah,
Way back when I was researching, you know, putting my bug out bag together.
yeah, right.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, where do you go? You know, if you don't have a retreat place to go or a plan or meeting family and rendezvousing, then what do you do?
Yeah. Well, I do know people that live in Chewelah in that area, right on the Idaho-Washington border. That's where Jill came from, but her sister and brother-in-law and other relatives they're all still in town there. So,
you know what? I'm going to try something here. I'm going to call Dave. Dave's trying to get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger.
Oh,
can you hear that? Hello?
What's going on?
Nothing. I got you on the air here with Bonnie and I think.
You got something going on.
Yeah, here. What's up?
Whoa, you're making me dizzy.
I what?
There we go. You're making me dizzy.
Oh, well, I'm trying to get you where. Can you hear him, Bonnie, or no?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay.
What's up?
Nothing. So what's that book
Hi,
you sent
Dave.
me? That Dave Coons or something? What's his name?
Yeah, check it out.
Okay.
I love that. I love
the
that
dates,
book.
Everything's
It's
on it
spooky.
is exact.
Okay.
The plan, the whole thing was made up in '81, and it was dated in 2020. And out of Wuhan, of course, hence the virus.
Yeah, Wuhan 400.
So,
whatever the fuck it says.
Yeah, that's what they called it back then.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a
But it's still
make-believe.
the same damn thing.
It's like a Tom Clancy book, though, right?
I'm not really sure. I don't read books, but what I've seen of that, I was showed,
Okay.
and I'm like, holy shit, that's like almost exact the shit's going on now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's scary.
It's Tom Clancy. Didn't he do
Almost
something
seems
about?
like this shit was all planned before.
I don't know if Tom, I'm just referring to it that it's a science, not a science fiction, but a fictional book. It's a story book.
Right. Storybook. And like our movies, you're not catching the hints.
Right. No, I know. I agree with that. They tried telling us something.
They've been trying to tell us shit for years.
Yeah.
Just like like Terminator, same thing.
Yeah.
Just like Google and all that shit, it's Skynet.
Yeah, that I believe. We're getting closer to that for sure.
What?
In the Matrix and also their shit.
The Matrix is good.
Yeah, the Matrix is like right on. There you go.
One of my shows I watched too. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I flipped it around. I didn't know where you're looking at the computer. So
You good?
this is weird. I've never had two callers on at the same time.
Oh, you haven't?
No. Not well. I have
Well,
on
Dwayne did it once.
I've had it on Zoom because I liked Zoom better than the SteamYard crap, but no, not on any other
Check that one out.
thing.
And those couple movies I put on there,
Yeah.
watch them. Watch them.
Okay. I will.
Another one too called Idiocracy.
Idiot. Oh, I know all about that one. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yep. Yeah, dumbing down of.
So fucking true. Everything that's going on is true.
Yeah.
They want our fucking people stupid.
Yeah. Well, they're getting it.
Not as whole people.
I don't like, what's old?
Well, you know, the ones that had not dealt with cell phones before this time.
Okay. All right. I just wanted clarification on that. So,
I'll get say hi to the wife.
okay.
Yeah. Never mind. She don't want to.
No? Okay.
Huh? You're in the bathroom. So yeah, you know. I figured I'd try to throw a few of those little notes out there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I love movies. And if you really pay attention, depending on what they're about,
Well,
they
just like,
what?
just like the movie The Thing.
The Thing,
Remember the movie Thing back in the 80s?
John Carpenter, yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what? They found an alien ship in Antarctica.
No. Well, that's
Yeah.
probably they won't let you around there because you get killed or disappear if you go into parts of Antarctica you're not supposed to.
There's so many hidden messages in movies that nobody seems to get it.
Yeah. I do now. I pay attention because I'm wide awake. So I'm looking for hints of that.
Didn't all those billionaires
2001 Space
take
Odyssey,
a trip
remember that?
last year to Antarctica?
Yeah. Space stations back in 78.
Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew?
Right. I don't know. But I am paying attention. I'm just waiting for Thanos to come.
Like I say, like Ron says, be careful what you say and what you do.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Can I stay away from the freaking what's going on with everybody else around the country, world, whatever. Shit's gonna hit the fan pretty fucking soon.
Yeah, I that's why I still think it's going to be in the last quarter of this year. I just, that's just my gut.
Okay. Those two places I wrote onto you, I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah.
They did another this virus fucking drill.
Yep.
Back last year.
Yep.
They're doing the same thing for impact with asteroids.
They're doing a drill with asteroids.
They already did.
Well, they already
They're
did.
dating it. They dated it for September 20th.
Wait, all right, so it's going to happen September 20th. Right.
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
They did a drill already. We're supposed to be going through an asteroid belt, I guess.
So the real asteroids happening September 20th?
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
All
not
right.
really, Mark Vogel said it's all Mark Vogel stuff, okay? It's all true. But I can't say for sure.
That's interesting.
Well, there goes
Take it
my
what you want.
birthday. It's going to be
Take it
all
what you
bummed
want.
out.
Check it
It'll-
out. But
Gee.
you remember we did Impact?
Deep Impact, yeah.
All this
Well-
shit is going to happen.
Deep Impact's going to happen.
Scary talk. Scary shit, but it's going to happen. Yellowstone, same thing.
Yep.
Cascadia, same thing.
Okay.
You know, you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, oh yeah, I do. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll keep an eye out on September 20th. It's great. Whose cat is
I
howling?
mean, there's
Oh, that
there's
is
also that date.
that is
and there's
Kitty
also
Sherbert.
Another one, Mayan date.
Yeah.
Of something like 20th or 29th of November.
Okay. All right. I don't think.
So, you know,
All right, Dave. Well, thanks for calling in and telling me that because I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it.
check her out. I mean, see what you find out.
I will. All right.
I'm going to hold you to find me that CD too.
You going to do what?
Hold you to find me that CD too, fucker.
Yeah, no, I will. I haven't had time to leave it up, but I will look for it. Adrenalized, right?
I can't find anything.
Yeah, adrenalized. Yeah. Okay.
Adrenalize, yeah.
Yeah, I'll look for it. All right.
Cool.
All right.
All right, man.
All right. Have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Huh. I don't think he can hear you, Bonnie. Or he couldn't hear you.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so either.
See, so that was kind of a fail because at least it was a test, though. But you heard him, right?
I heard him and I heard you.
Yeah, but he couldn't hear you. That makes sense, though, because it's just my phone.
That's okay. That's why I just kind of got quiet there.
You know what though? If I would have taken that call on Facebook Messenger with my computer, that would have worked. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I know. I got my phone in front of me, so I just grabbed that right away. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
you
saying there's
should.
going to be an asteroid thing hitting the Earth now in September. That's great.
Well, that's a bummer. My birthday's the last week of September, so that means no celebration here.
Happy birthday!
Thank you to let me know early.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm good. We may all be toast.
yeah, right. I'm telling you, my gut's saying the last quarter of this year is going to go out with a bang, and I don't even know what that means. Something's telling me. That's why I'm literally going to have my bug out shit ready to go, where I can just jump on my. I've decided I'm going to take my bike because I've seen what traffic jams and a train going through the middle of Loveland does to traffic. I mean, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere in a car. You're just not going anywhere.
Oh yeah, your bike you can go along
Yes.
the sides, even along the road, not even on the
Hey,
road.
I could go down a freaking sidewalk and no one's going to stop me. I mean, a motorcycle is the way to bug out. As far as camping out and shelter, it's horrible, but that ain't going to matter if you can't get out of Dodge. So my bike will be ready to get the hell out of here. Like, lickety
well,
split.
if you've got this stuff, to keep you dry, you'll realize what you got away from. It'll probably feel pretty dang comfortable.
Right.
Considering.
Exactly.
I've got my one bag packed to, just with emergency stuff that I would use right around the house. And if it was a big earthquake and damaged, I could still get to it. And I've got another one already to go into the car if something happens before the van gets back.
Good.
With repairs. But I have two bags for two different situations. So if I have to go backpack because you can't drive, I've got one that can do that, so I've just been that way forever. My mom was that way, believe it or not. So,
wow.
It's
crazy.
She got us scared as hell when we were kids that, Russia was going to throw nuclear bombs at us from Cuba. So,
back with Kennedy. Yeah. The Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Scared to death as a little kid, especially when I heard planes from McCord Air Force Base, because you could hear them. The twin engine, the big planes. Going up north. To go over the polar route, and it was kind of like. So I was scared as a kid. It really affected me knowing that and having to practice duck and cover.
Right.
And then going through the 1965 earthquake, just a few months after the Alaskan 64 big earthquake, we had a I think it was a 6.5 or a 6.7 in 65. And I remember watching the floor roll. Yeah. So, now nothing stresses me out.
No, that's it. It's going to be really hard to affect me and go, or react in a fearful way. I don't think it's possible. I just really don't.
That's that 50-year-old switch. That's when you start viewing the world differently and reacting differently.
It could be. I think it's a lot of things I've been through though too. I mean, you're just not going to surprise me. You're just not.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
same here.
I'm looking at
lots of survival.
Right. I'm looking at YouTube, and this show's ratings is slowly going up in views.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Slowly but
if
surely.
you start talking about stuff that people are gluing their ears to anything like this, because I think people all over have a gut feeling and they're looking for answers. I'm all people. Doesn't matter if they're people of faith or people that are just watching the news or people that are watching the radio, different beliefs and everything, but their gut is telling them something.
Right. And you got to listen to that, man. You put it this way, you're not going to hear it on CNN or Fox or CNBC or Fox Business Channel or nothing. You're just not going to hear this stuff. You're just
No.
not going to. There's not going to be any insightfulness or guidance or preparedness. It's all reactive and opinionated and then politicized. That's all you're going to hear.
Yeah, and people need to be prepared psychologically before the shit hits the fan. Because if you can do that and
Yep.
you've kind of played scenarios in your head beforehand,
Mhm.
you're much more likely to survive.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
much more likely to survive. And that's what my mom had us do when we were little. Even looking for fire exits. When we went to the old movie theater, when we first sat down, she says, okay, point to me all the fire exits. When you're 4 or 5 years old,
Right.
that's, so I grew up that way, so, yeah, so it's more natural, but people are looking for just stuff to grab onto, just like that book,
Right.
Surviving, that caught your eye and your gut told you
Yep.
needed to know that stuff.
Yes.
So other people are looking for that book in essence, and it may not be that book, but it's going to be something, because right now they're just wondering and their heads are kind of floating and they're just going, oh, it won't happen. But what if it does happen?
Exactly.
And what will happen?
Exactly.
And and more people are waking up. So they're listening and grabbing for ideas and content, and people challenging each other on what's right and what will work and what won't, and people who believe it's going to be one thing and something else. People want to play all those scenarios in their minds, and I think that's increasing, and I think people are going to be looking for that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've after the meltdown in 08, I've had my head in this stuff, and I've gone all by instincts and doing my own research and just what's going on. And I really think, Dave even said it, just like something's going to happen. And I go, yeah. And what would make one person say that?
Yep.
Other than
last night,
intuitiveness.
I felt that.
Yeah, something's not right, man.
I'm still convinced in the next 2 or 3 days that something newsworthy or something is going to make you go, okay, I got to get more prepared, or so I'm just waiting for that. But everybody's doing that, it seems like, unless they're just so engrossed with the material world,
Right. Yeah. We're a talking red pill, blue pill orb now. I figured it out.
That's purple.
I like that. It's
I like that too. That looks good.
It's kind of
That's a nice one.
hypnotic, actually. It's weird. Huh.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna talk and watch this. This is really cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that.
You got to keep that one.
It is. It's in there. I just uploaded it from my computer, so it's in there. But I figured it out. Cool. Gonna buy. Oh, Scarlett must be done eating. What?
What were they going to buy?
I don't know. I just seen that myself. Gonna buy what? What are you talking about? CNN?
Oh, breaking. Oh, that's Pamela. TikTok app is no more in the United States per Ducky Trump, she wrote.
Oh, yeah. He was going to ban that. Yeah, because it's...
And NBC broke the news and she heard Microsoft was going to buy it, which would make sense because Microsoft has been trying to get into the more social media kind of thing, because it's basically software and stuff. So that would make sense if, investment wise.
Microsoft hasn't invented anything. They always copy people. They're idiots. And then when they do have good stuff, they get rid of it.
Yep. I've never quite understood that, but let's see. Clarity. Okay. Scarlett says Trump wanted to take control of the U.S. arm of TikTok. What?
I guess.
I thought TikTok was China.
It is China. It's China. I don't know.
Maybe he's just talking about the part that China allows to go to the U.S. They were worried about.
I don't know.
Yeah. Hacking and stuff.
I know they were talking about it, and I think it allegedly had something to do with spyware and all the Huawei stuff, and just he doesn't trust anything from China. And especially when it comes to cellular video or communications or anything, he doesn't trust them.
Well, we have had a lot of stuff stolen.
Yeah, well, a lot in the billions.
Yeah, a lot of military.
Yeah, that too.
You financed by CEO is American and financed by Canadian billionaire. Oh, I wonder which one that is.
I haven't seen nothing.
Okay,
Here comes Scarlett.
so what I was saying was, because it's hard to explain, but okay, so they want to buy TikTok because they were going to ban it, right, in the United States, they were saying. So Trump told China yesterday that, hey, you're going to have to either cease operations in the United States with this program, TikTok, or you can sell it to a U.S. subsidiary and we control the U.S. version of TikTok here. Because, the Chinese and the U.S. versions are two different versions, obviously, because they're not going to let us talk to the Chinese. But they're two different versions, so that's where Microsoft comes in, who was saying that they were going to potentially buy TikTok and their U.S.-based operations from this company that bought it in China, who purchased musical.ly a few years ago, who actually owned the TikTok version to begin with.
Huh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But Microsoft is going to buy it.
That's what they were saying, that was the company who stepped up, because Trump said somebody else in the U.S. needs to take control of it, or else it can't exist. So Microsoft and ponied up, I'm sure, and was like, oh, we can buy it.
Sure. Why we're making the virus that's going to kill everybody, or not virus.
Right. While Bill Gates is busy working on the vaccine, like we can be over here, working on TikTok and controlling everybody's free speech over there too. So I don't know. Yeah, and spy on you too, because if that's what they think the Chinese are doing, why wouldn't they do it when they purchase it?
That'll work perfectly with the digital ID that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Wow.
But
see, I figured it all out already.
Mm-hmm.
So the good old boys billionaires club from high tech are going to own all of the sites for
it's ridiculous.
Social media. Wow.
Yeah. See. Thanks, Tilo.
For what? Being correct?
You said correct, Scarlett. Yeah.
You're always right.
Well, thank you.
We just got to get Wayne to figure that shit out, and his life would be.
I know. He always wants to argue with me, and it's the most obnoxious thing in life.
Yep.
It's just like, listen to me. Damn it.
But
that's again why I say he's more like my kid, because your damn kid is never going to listen to you because you don't have a good opinion because you don't know shit.
He's still in a stupid stage. Guys are stupid until they hit 30.
At least.
Yeah. That's the soonest. In their 30s, but sometimes you're lucky enough where they are that they'll hit 30 and they go, oh, really? No, I get it.
I'm at the table. I'm aware.
Oh, that's what you mean? Oh, okay.
No. So, I mean, yeah, exactly. So I give credit where credit's due. But still, yeah, maybe one day. He said today that when he's 35, he and I should run for president.
Oh, my God.
But I would be president, y'all.
Are you really trying to drive me out of the country?
I don't know. Would you not stay in America if I was president? You don't think I would make good choices?
What do you think? What do you think the answer to that is? Seriously.
You would leave the country?
No,
you don't trust me.
God, yours bad as Bonnie.
Right? I just feel like you don't want to be in my cabinet?
Use your gut. You really think I would leave the country if you were president?
No, because I would
Hey.
probably want you to be in my cabinet. I would
As
appoint
what?
you to something. I don't know. What would you want to be? Like, would you want to be like transportation secretary? Would you want to be like health and safety?
You know what? Really, honestly, I would like to be head of education to straighten
Oh,
the
would
shit
you? Yeah. Okay.
I'm tired
Alright.
of kids getting fucked up. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah. So see, and I could have places for everybody who had good ideas and things, you know. But yeah, that's what Dwayne said. And I said, okay, Dwayne, when you're 35, if things are, you know, still happening in the world, we can run for president. So I've got a while.
DC will never be the same.
What do you have to be? 35?
You got to be 35, yeah. So
So
I
how
would
much-
still have a few years. Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to run yet. So I'd have to wait till the next election. I could run though.
Yeah.
So
a woman president.
She'd
yeah.
be great. She'd be a great one.
As
So
long
the first day, I'm gonna end the Fed, like
Thank
for real.
you.
Like the
I'm
Federal
with
Reserve is absolved. I don't
Yeah,
care
I'm
who comes after me. If I die in my sleep that night, absolved,
Yep.
never to return in
That's
its current form.
That would be a very good first move.
Yep. Then I would legalize marijuana. That'd be my second move.
Far out, man.
Yep.
You got my vote, dude.
Across the board. I might decriminalize all drugs. It just depends on how I'm feeling when I first get elected. And then I would honestly probably sign an executive order to stop all executive orders.
What would you do with all the Mexicans that are here illegally?
Give them work permits and work visas.
And then a shot at citizenship?
Correct.
Okay.
As long as they come here and work and do the right shit like they're supposed to, and like everybody else who's trying to be here is, cool. You commit a crime, you go. That's about it.
Okay.
Like, and that's, you know, but let's try to give them a path to citizenship, a path to work, maybe even open up some training or vocational schools. So if they have no skills, we could put them through there and then they could try, you know, something.
All right. So to be fair, whatever the misdemeanors or whatever the crimes that Mexicans commit coming here and doing what they did, people that have convictions of the same level of misdemeanor, nonviolent, would you expunge their records?
Yeah, I guess I would because
You
it's
would
not
have
fair
to.
for them to have that
Yeah.
hanging over their head if they didn't do
Right.
anything violent to get
Yep.
here, you know.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah, no, because I feel like they deserve a fair chance. I mean, not everybody can just like get over that quickly like other countries. So I get it.
Yeah.
But there also needs to be a limit on it too. You know, maybe only so many per year can come.
Yeah. You
You
can't.
know, and make sure other countries are still making sure that their people get here. You know, that too, because that's kind of shut down, and then it only seems like, you know, border people are getting over, and that's not fair either.
Right.
You know, people from wherever they are should be able to come, you know, if they want to take a chance here. So, I mean, I would just have to take a look at that. I mean, it's more complicated than that, but I think at least to try to help what's going on currently, have maybe some family shelters instead of these, you know, detention camps that kids are sleeping in cages. Maybe have family shelters that they could stay in while they're waiting, you know, asylum or citizenship or, you know, the work program. Something.
Would you
Gotta
throw-
be something. I mean, we spend so much buttloads of money on other bullshit. I could find
Yeah.
some money to build like some pole barn sheds and make it nice and, you know, for real. Like, and put them on nice beds and have them have some dignity in life. You know, I mean, honestly, let's not put these people and give them no dignity and then wonder why they turn against us when they get here.
Well, that's what they did to the black people, my dear.
Exactly. Well, that's what
And
they're doing to
Indian.
them at the border too. So it's
Yeah,
just like we
right.
gotta stop the cycle somewhere. But yeah, those are the things I would do if I was president.
Yeah, good.
But there's no good real answer to it. But I think that there'd be some things. But yeah, that'd be my first thing. But and the Fed would be first.
Oh,
And
thank you.
no more taxes.
None?
Maybe a flat tax, but that's about it.
A flat income tax or sales tax?
Flat all over the board tax.
A flat income tax rate, like 12% or whatever. and-
Yep. Something like that. I was thinking 10%, 10% flat tax.
That's
rate.
fine. Yeah, don't give them too much. Make them fucking budget their money.
Right.
Well, yeah, and have the states take more responsibility for, they're getting too much federal money anyway, very often. So,
Well, that's what I mean. And then, I'd make a rule to like teach real life skills. Obviously, I would absolve the CDC. I would get rid of them.
Yep.
We don't need them. I
Are
would
you-
get rid of vaccine mandates. Well, before I write my EO for all EOs, I'd make an executive order for that.
Are you eating your
Yeah.
pickles?
I am. They're so good.
Yeah. Like you're making me hungry. I love pickles.
And they're good. All I did was I got some, I don't know if everybody has a Target, but Target sells organic, simply balanced dill pickles, right? So I took that after all my pickles were gone. And then I grew these cucumbers and I was like, ooh, I'm going to make garlic pickles. And so I threw the pickles in there with some garlic cloves and I let them sit for like a week and they're phenomenal.
Oh my
That's how
god.
I liked it.
Saturating.
I bet they are.
Well, yeah, and then you get more pickles because your cucumbers are sitting in there, and it's like you have extra pickles, and it's like my pickle jar never ran out. It's a great thing.
Yeah, they're in the brine in there. So,
Yeah, so it's already like repickling them. Yeah,
Are
so
they
it's
I
great.
got probiotics in there. So that's
Yeah.
good for you.
are they dill pickles?
They would be dill pickles. Yeah,
Oh, we love it.
yeah, because see, I don't do sweet pickles. I just can't.
Well, I'm growing a bunch of dill, but you're too far away from me.
Oh, man.
I know. Next year, I want to grow more dill. My dill plant didn't do very well. It got very tall, but then it kind of seeded and died. I don't know what happened to it.
You save the seeds. And you use them in cooking then, for other stuff, and you grind them up and put them in
Oh, yeah.
starter stuff. Oh,
That's a good idea. Yeah. I'll actually collect those and harvest them then.
and then I save a certain number of them and then use them the next year. And
Oh,
plant.
yeah, that's a good idea too, and plant them. Yeah, that's a wonderful idea because I haven't harvested it yet, so that's a good idea.
Yeah, fennel seeds.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that.
It tastes like licorice, kind of. It's just an Italian cooking.
Mm.
Right.
Well, you're making me hungry. I think I'm gonna go buy some dills tomorrow because I haven't had any in a while.
Mhm. Bubby's pickles are really good if you've never had those.
Whose?
What kind?
Bubby's, Bubbies, Bubby's pickles.
Never heard of them.
They're a probiotic pickle, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like a kosher dill. Very good. I actually like those. They're kind of expensive though.
Yeah. I make mine with sauerkraut, and I sometimes make kimchi.
Yeah.
Ugh, know.
I love sauerkraut. Kimchi and sauerkraut are good for you, Tim,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah, I
good
like
for your
them.
gut health.
I like sauerkraut. I can't stand kimchi. I went to South Korea and that stuff smells like crap. It's everywhere.
It doesn't if you
Oh,
don't add the fish sauce to it. They add fish sauce to it.
Oh yeah, I love fish sauce. I grew up on fish sauce though, so I think I have a more acquired taste for it because I grew up with it my whole life. And my dad's friend would make it homemade from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
He's Vietnamese, and so I think I'm just used to having fish sauce. Because I don't like purchasing fish sauce from like the Asian store and eating it. That doesn't taste as good.
I think part of the problem is that Americans that have never, gone there or know somebody who cooked that, they use too much.
It is. It is a really acquired flavor. But like for me, if I go catch fish out of the lake, I honestly crave fish sauce with it because I'm used to eating that, and I've eaten it that way my whole life.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's different.
It's what you make with it. A lot of Thai food has it in also.
Yeah, it does.
I've made Thai salad where you literally grind it up with the peppers and you use a mortar and pestle and but they use a great big thing where they kind of pound the salad, but it's a Thai spicy salad. There's a little tiny bit of fish sauce in it, but not much.
Yeah, sometimes it gives like a little umami flavor to things where it does kind of kick up the flavor. And I do like sauerkraut, though. The sauerkraut is always good.
Yeah, I sometimes even put the daikon radish in it, the sauerkraut, and thinly sliced carrots sometimes. So it's a bunch of pickled vegetables, essentially. And I've got the little lids that you can make it in quart jars if you want to, where it can cure for a couple weeks, but they're made so they let some of the extra gas out so it won't bubble all over the place.
Oh yeah, I've seen those like airlock lids. I was actually going to get some fermentation lids so I could start
they work
kind of just playing around with it.
Yeah, and I've sometimes I've got some of the glass weights that fit wide mouth jars that'll keep it down underneath the brine.
The brine. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a hard thing too when people are fermenting, that you might in the beginning throw out a few batches if you don't pay attention.
Yeah, some people throw out when it's okay because there usually is a healthy white film on the top that you scrape off, but you don't want it to be blue or green or pink.
No, that's true.
And it'll still smell good if it's good after you do that. But yeah, that's part of what I really get into and doing a bunch of the survival stuff, because thinking, well, if there's no refrigeration, I'm going to be drying stuff or I'm going to be fermenting stuff, to keep throughout the year as the season.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you can do is dehydration or fermentation for, storage, unless you have like a fancy freeze dryer or something.
Yeah, those are nice, but you need electricity if there's, like if we have any.
Yeah, I mean, unless you did it all beforehand, but yeah, you would need electricity for that. But yeah, for pure non-electricity survival, fermentation and dehydration are two skills to definitely pick up, because it can help you keep some foods longer. That's probably why they started pickling all those weird things like pickled eggs, pickled asparagus.
I know how to pickle eggs. Oh yeah. I do that sometimes. Hard-boiled eggs, and you peel them and put them in a brine and in the fridge for a couple weeks, and they're good. So, and that's how you can keep protein, since eggs will last, eggs last a lot longer than people think, as long as they've got the shell on them, if they're fresh, and you can put them under water and in a brine and, fresh eggs, and they'll stay good for a long time without refrigeration. So.
Oh yeah, and coating oil on eggs, mineral oil. If you coat eggs in mineral oil, they will last for a lot longer than even refrigerated. Or if you happen to have eggs that are being laid, and this is after, refrigeration, not that you can't keep eggs on your counter for 3 months. That's about how long you can keep them. Yeah, you can keep eggs on your counter for 3 months. Like in countries like Guatemala and South American countries, they don't refrigerate eggs ever. It's only Americans that refrigerate eggs.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so they coat them, and you can also coat them in a small amount of mineral oil, and then they will last up to 6 months. And that's actually proven by the FDA.
Right.
So, and I've kept them that long. I've kept, some, I'd probably say I've kept like fresh laid eggs and without coating them for like 3 months, maybe closer to 4. And they were still good when I cracked them, and no smell, and didn't get sick, and fine.
They'll either smell good or they won't,
That's kind of how eggs are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something I think people don't realize too, is like expiration dates aren't necessarily what you think they are.
Yeah. And
Like you have a lot longer on a lot more foods than what you truly think. Now, dairy and stuff like that, no. But you do get 7 days, depending on what it is, about 5 to 7 days after the expiration date to still use dairy products. But other than that, most other things you can use for a lot longer.
All kinds of, a lot of your vegetables and fruits, as long as they're not spoiled. And then, you can, again, pickle them or
can them or
ferment, yeah. You know, come on, Sherman. You want a chicken?
Especially like fruits and stuff, you can always make preserves and jellies and things like that. Or with other vegetables, you could always make relishes and things like that. I'm sure that's how, things like chow chow in the South and stuff got started, was just to save or preserve an abundance of vegetables to have.
Oh yeah, or like corn. My mom. We did all kinds of stuff, and I grew up because I have like 3 grapevines here that are now huge. But, I know how to can grape juice. I also have a steam distiller where I can just distill like juices and stuff from the grapes up on top, and they go down below, and it's pure. It's pure.
Oh, snap. We can make some
Yeah.
booze at Bonnie's house.
I'm such a dork. I really am. I'm just a total nerd, so, but it's,
No, things like that, though, I think are cool to have the ability to make your own beverages and, make extractions. If you ever plant a lot of lavender or something, you could make an essential oil out of that with a steam distiller and things of that sort.
yep. Yeah. And I grow all kinds of rosemary and thyme and I've got all kinds of herbs growing all over.
And the essential oils from those and the floral waters from those are really healing. So, that's always something you can make out of them.
Yeah. So I'm kind of ready. I don't make the essential oils. I could. And, I know how to make candles out of all kinds of weird things. And it's a bunch of stupid knowledge that I've kept, because I've been studying this stuff for years, probably since the 80s. And,
Right.
just because I was interested. And, it's back there in my memory somewhere. If something should happen, I'll MacGyver something. So, and it makes me feel safer.
More secure, yeah, because you made good choices that, you could fall back on this knowledge and rely on it.
Right. And I can show other people how to do it. Because a lot of people would have no idea, what to do. So.
No, and that's true. And a lot of people will be stuck when things get worse because, right now we're kind of teetering still on the good times, but here pretty soon people are going to realize what kind of predicament we really are in. And I think that's when it gets dangerous.
I think the economy is going to implode before even a lot of the other stuff. So, just waiting to see, wonder if the Fed will even exist, Yeah,
I don't even know as things keep going what's going to happen. I think we're going to see a lot more shocking things that we didn't necessarily think that were going to happen, but we're probably going to see happen.
Unfortunately, yes. I never in my whole life ever dreamt my country would look or feel this way, or would be talking about these things.
Never. I always talked about these things on the fringe, but I never thought it'd be like mainstream, like go time. We'd be in the middle of go time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You didn't think you enjoying it? Be filming, the marches and the riots in Minneapolis, as a news story. I'm sure you didn't think about that 2 years ago.
No, never. I never thought it would be that quick. Like the devolving would happen so rapidly. Like I always knew we were being set up for it, and I always knew incrementally things were being picked away. But as far as in, a whole, never. Well, I thought of better things for 2020. I thought maybe by like 2025 for sure, as the Grand Solar minimum kicked up. I definitely in the next like 2 to 3 years was looking for it, but not now.
Yeah. I think it was Pamela that made a comment the other day about how 2020 sucks. It's not right. It's been a good year so far. So.
No, I would like a refund. 0 stars. Do not recommend. Like think about it, like when I was a kid, like you'd always think about, ooh, what would 2000 or what would even 2020 be like? Like, oh, that's so far away. And then we're here and it's like, shit, I want a refund. Like as soon as they invent the time machine, I want to go back and tell everybody in 2020, 2019, I want to go back and be like, no, it's going to be shit. Just get ready. Just get ready.
Yeah.
Well, here we were all fretting over 2000 and what was going to happen to the computer systems. What was going to happen?
Yeah, people had water, people had food, people had bunkers before 2000. Like people are ready.
Yeah, and they didn't know what was going to happen with all. I've got the cat and the dog sitting next to me. They're fighting.
Oh.
But I think Meowth is the cat. Well, it's play fighting.
Right.
Yeah. Meowth is 22-pound cat. So.
Oh, big cat.
Fat
Big
cat.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, kind of, but he has big cat genes though too.
Right.
Bigger
I
pants.
fed him well, but he's athletic. He likes playing with the dog. And the dog's 100 pounds.
Well, that's good for him then. I mean, he's got some weight on him.
Yep. And he guards the old rescued cat that I found half dead and brought back to life several years ago. He was a stray and afraid of people, and now he's totally socialized. But he's old. He's crippled and has arthritis. And if he goes out in the yard, wants to go out in the yard for a while, Sherman watches over him, makes sure nothing hurts him. So. Here.
All right.
I'm back.
Sounds of silence there.
Yeah.
I know. It kicked me out, and then I had to come back.
It did. Oh no.
Yes. Well, I had saw that alert because then I saw that Agenda Free TV just went live. Trump to ban TikTok. So he actually is going to ban it. So Microsoft must not have been able to acquire it. I think those negotiations probably turned sour or something. Because I literally just read that on Smart News earlier today that was the plan. So, but I just posted an article in the YouTube chat that is a AP article that says Trump to ban TikTok by Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I just see that you posted
tomorrow.
That to link that.
Yeah, so that is tomorrow. That's what I mean. So this is like a late night announcement for that. So, that's too bad because a lot of people use TikTok. We even had a FRN TikTok. We didn't make anything with it, but we had a TikTok.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't surprise me though because they've had them on Capitol Hill yesterday. All of the
look, now Tim got kicked out. See, it's a conspiracy, y'all. It's a conspiracy. That's all I'd like to say. But and by the way, while I have you all here, I'll be starting about 11:30. I'll start a little bit later than I usually do, but gotta get these children to bed, and then I will be on air because we got a lot of things to go over. We got to talk about the hurricane. We got to talk about this article that I read. That's shit. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about something that a flyer that Red was given, or I think Peanut Gallery was given at the dump today, and then he gave it to Red, and then I went to the website and read what they had to say that goes along with the article. So yeah, we got lots to talk about, and then I'll get myself ready to come on camera and do all that fun stuff. So yeah, so we'll wait for Tim for a minute and wait for Bonnie to come back because they both got kicked off, and I don't know what happened. All I know is I'm here alone. Welcome back.
I fucked up again.
Oh, did you? Yeah. See, it happens sometimes to the best of us.
Yeah. Oops.
Exactly. But yes, so Yeah, see, it changed it to my avatar.
I see that.
Yeah, but now that you know how to change it, you should just be able to go in there and pick that one, and then you have yours again.
I'll pick this one.
Yeah, there you go.
It's cool.
It's good. It's big steps. It's big steps. It is
Yeah.
nice though because honestly, our show has never been friendly for those to the deaf or hard of hearing, so I don't feel that bad because for years we were only on radio, so I
What?
don't always feel bad. Sometimes I feel bad for like our hearing impaired people because they can't listen to my show. Like I have a deaf friend. If I'm not on camera, she wouldn't be able to listen to the show because I'm not talking.
What?
Can't see it.
I got
Shut
you.
up, Tim.
I got you twice on that.
Damn it! I knew you were doing that shit. I could tell. I was like, wait, I'm gullible. Like I just believe people. Damn it, Tim.
Gotcha. I got you twice.
Of course, you always do. Damn it.
What?
Fuck you, man. It's so convincing though. Like it is.
Oh my god, that's funny as fuck. Oh wow.
Always have fun raising me, man.
All right. Well, are you? Do you have to go and get prepared for your show or what?
Yeah, I told everybody I was coming back around 11:30 while you were gone.
Why I accidentally left the StreamYard StreamYard.
Yeah, we
webpage.
have a lot to talk about tonight. Okay, we gotta talk about the hurricane. Hurricane's coming. Okay,
Okay. And
gonna hit Florida.
it's gonna hit North Carolina too, where my ex lives.
Yes, that's whatever they've already, and the fact that they're already evacuating them means it's going to be a good hit because we're still 48 hours. We just got a hurricane warning down there, and the storm is still just over the Bahamas. It's not expected to hit Florida until tomorrow. We already have the hurricane warning all the way up the coast of Florida. If they've already evacuated North Carolina, they would be out of even tropical storm watch conditions because it'd be over 48 hours. So they're evacuating before even a tropical storm watch is issued for them. This is going to be a big ass storm.
You think so?
Oh shit, yeah. Anybody who's followed me who knows what we do during hurricane season, the fact that they would already evacuate them is a huge signal of what's coming.
Well, I hope my dumbass ex-wife has hurricane insurance this time.
Yeah, I hope so. Cause
I really do.
shit, if you don't got hurricane insurance, you're screwed, man. Like, regular flood riders don't cover that.
No, you have to have hurricane insurance.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Flood insurance, hurricane insurance.
I hope she does.
I think this
earthquake insurance. You got earthquake insurance, Bonnie. You got earthquake insurance.
You can't get it in this state, and the federal government won't back it like they do with the other stuff.
Oh wow, that's shit.
Yeah, everybody here on the West Coast is screwed unless you have a whole lot of money because you're going to
and you can pay these fancy $1 million policies and
and most of them in the United States won't even do it now because they suspect some big ones are going to happen any time now, so they won't do it. So you got to go to like one of the big old insurance companies back in Europe or something, and I'm not sure even some of them are doing it anymore. So
probably not.
Yeah, they just the West Coast. It's kind of like we're just
nope.
You
guys will have to deal. That's awful though. That's very scary because a lot of people, if something does happen, will lose everything.
Yeah, my ex did.
Oh yeah. Well, we have a big earthquake here.
Yep.
I've got everything placed with my survival stuff so that it can be most easily accessed from outside the building if everything's collapsed. But I can now
that was smart. So you have a little cash.
Oh yeah.
No, chow chow is more of like a southern food, Pam. Like I know a lot of people in the South, like Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, who eat it on the side of their meals all the time. When they're eating stuff or on top of stuff. Depends on what you're eating.
What the fuck is that? I never heard of that.
Chow chow. It's like a relish. Is the best way I could explain it. It usually, I believe, has like cabbage, onion, some real thin slice, like red bell pepper,
Sometimes corn, fresh corn, and
Yep, sometimes corn. Yep.
and
Yeah, and it's all kind of cut up and it's like in a vinegary kind of based sauce.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's good, like on the fish.
Yep.
all kinds.
Or even on like fried green tomatoes or on the side of pork chops or something. It's just something you kind of eat as a palate cleanser almost.
Yeah, because it
Mm.
has, well, besides the onions, I can't remember what they put in for acidic. Is it vinegar or is it?
That's what I was thinking. I think it's vinegar. I think it's a vinegar based one. A little bit of vinegar, maybe a tiny bit of something else, but I believe the base is vinegar for chow chow.
Yeah, I mean you can use lemon, but then it wouldn't be the same.
No, it wouldn't be quite the same. But yeah, it's kind of a relish that you let sit and then it's something you kind of eat on the side. It'd be like American kimchi would be the best thing I could call it.
Ugh.
But it's not like kimchi. It's not like that flavor. It's like an Americanized flavor. You'd probably like it a lot, actually.
It's
Okay.
kind of tangy, and sometimes they'll put a little bit of sweetening in it, so it's actually just a touch sweet. But the majority, won't, the majority.
Or
don't.
it can be spicy sometimes. Some people make theirs real spicy.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, little hot peppers. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's regional, American foods. I always liked shows that showed like regional American foods and things because you don't realize how different food is, just different places you go. Like we have like hot dish here, or we have like hot beef commercial sandwiches. I'm sure you had those in Illinois too.
Oh
Tim.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And barbecue in different states, Texas and Kansas City, and I mean big, or pizza between New York and Chicago.
Right. Or
Yeah.
like pork tenderloin sandwiches are like a whole genre.
The hell is
Oh
that?
yeah.
Do you know there's a whole pork tenderloin sandwich group on Facebook?
No.
Yes, where people go out and search like the best pork tenderloins, and I guess a lot of them are in Illinois.
Really?
Oh really?
Yeah, so like you should go when you're on your bike and go get one of those pork tenderloin sandwiches because that sounds really good to me. And they're the big ones, like as big as the table type deal.
Holy cat.
Huh.
Yeah, they're like huge. Like so, this group like finds out the perfect pork tenderloin sandwich, the breaded pork tenderloin and all that. I have an affinity of American cheese on mine and a little onion and some mustard, but that's me.
On pork tenderloin?
like a-
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, yellow mustard, a little cut up red onion, or white. I guess white or yellow onion would be okay, but red onion would be my preference. And then some American cheese.
Yeah, I don't get the cheese
Red-
part.
Yeah.
Oh, American cheese on a pork tenderloin sandwich. You guys got Culver's out there or no?
Yep.
Go to Culver's, get the pork tenderloin, put cheese on it. We'll talk.
Okay.
Then we'll talk.
That'd be good.
Good shit.
Sweet onion dressing on that, just to give it a little tang. You wouldn't like it that way because you know how you like it with the mustard. I could think all kinds of variations. Now you're making me hungry.
I know, but pork tenderloins are like an art, so it's something that I feel very passionate about, and it's a sandwich that I can get behind.
I haven't had that in a long time.
That's what I mean, and that's what I mean. Like on your trip, you got to go and then get a good greasy bar one and enjoy your best life because that's what it's about.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss the food. So when I'm back in Illinois, I'm gonna eat as much as I can.
You miss bar food from over there because food out in Colorado is a little bit different. Like everywhere's got like I went and ordered a chili cheeseburger. Don't do that in Colorado, y'all, because they don't. You're not gonna get chili on your cheeseburger. You're gonna get like Hatch chili on your cheeseburger,
Yeah,
and it's not the same.
horrible.
It's not the
It's
same.
different. And it was different out here. I worked cooking in a tavern as a second job because I didn't make enough of the school district to pay off all my bills so I could go back to grad school and tell you the bar food was usually better than a lot of the nice restaurants and stuff like the Jose Bob Dog. I mean, they mixed everything up with a lot of the Mexican influence was still up here because they worked up in agriculture, especially much of the seasons going clear back to the, the 60s, 50s. A lot of the Latinos did. And so they introduced a lot of their stuff into our culture, into our food, along with the seafood and stuff. But that food was always so much better. And I thought, why does it taste better when I make it here than if I make the same at the same dang way at home? It just tastes
because better equipment to some degree, but the bar, I don't know, there's something just about bar food, and in the Midwest in particular, bar food is like an art around here. Like, you go and you can have some of the best food of your life, like legit.
Oh yeah,
that and supper clubs.
Yeah, good grills, and they're seasoned well, and
yeah, because the Midwest still does like supper clubs where you can go and get like a steak or baked potato and a salad and just classic. Like, so food's a good thing, but yeah, there's a good variety of just like classic, and especially like if you're anywhere in the dairy belt, you're gonna have cheese curds, you're gonna have mozzarella sticks, you're gonna have all that.
My grandfather was from Wisconsin originally.
Yep. So yeah, lots of cheese around here. Like, cheese is a part of life. Like, I was so sad when I went to the grocery store when I first visited Red, and she brought me to like the dip aisle, and there was like no kinds of dip at the store, like chip dip. Because like here, you go into a dairy aisle, and we have a whole freaking aisle of we have a whole case of just literally like yogurt, dips, and like cottage cheese and sour cream, like a whole case that's the whole aisle long. Like, you can pick a bajillion million different things. And I go to Red and there's like one shelf, and I was like, what is this? I was like, I'm out of Dairyland. I can tell, because like, how do you guys not have choices? I was very disappointed.
Yep.
Yeah. You get quite a bit out here. We used to have a lot of dairy cows out here. So.
Right. Yeah, so then you guys probably got used to having a lot of like the dairy products on the shelf. But yeah, getting out of like the Midwest, I was like, what the hell? Like, there's no dip options. Where's all the dairy? It's all missing.
Oh yeah, blue cheese dip that goes with, buffalo wings. That's always a good combination. So
that is a good combination. But like, yeah, a lot of dips up here are just like chip dip, but then it's like a sour cream based dip. So you got like party dip, bacon and onion dip, French onion dip. You got like 20 different kinds of dip, bacon dip, all types of dip. And then I go somewhere else, I'm like, where's all the dip? So like, it just shows like culturally we do different things, and the food is going to be different in different places.
Sockeye salmon dip and halibut dip and the Dungeness crab and artichoke dip.
All right,
spinach.
you're making me hungry.
Ooh, Dungeness crab dip. I love Dungeness crab. That's always so good. I love seafood.
Yeah. Yep.
I love crab legs. I love lobster. I like scallops.
Then
I like
you would
crab
love
cake.
Seattle.
Yeah. Oh, I would, because they have that whole fish market jam up there. Yeah.
Yep.
I would love that, because I like all types of fish.
And throw the crab pots, off the docks around the area, and
right off Pike's Place, right?
Huh? What's that?
Do it right off of Pike's Place, right there.
Well, you can do it there, but I'm farther north, so and Everett, and there's.
Oh, can you?
I drive 12 miles, and I'm near the waterfront, and can throw a crab pot out.
Yeah, let's go to Bonnie's house and go crabbing. Whoop.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'll go crabbing, and then we can make like a little, surf and turf dinner on the sand, and bring out like, a little cooker and make it right there and do it.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. How do you do it?
The ocean is really good to get razor clams out there and go do that out on the beach, looking at the Pacific Ocean. And it's, oh my gosh. We used to do that when I was a kid. Dig razor clams.
Fun.
Yeah.
Go clamming and just have a little, seafood bake, Oh yeah. There's a young lady that I'm interested in on Facebook, and I don't know what her name is, but she makes all these different meals out on the trail. And I find it just interesting because she brings like, good quality stuff, and she'll make like a seafood boil, or one time she made chicken parmesan, or, it just depends. And it's interesting because everywhere she goes, but she makes a good meal when she goes. And it shows people, like, if you're camping, you don't have to necessarily skimp. You just maybe have to do some prep work before you leave home.
Quite a few of the restaurants in both Oregon, around Portland, and up in Seattle have quite a few restaurants that use wild, plants and salads and different dishes. And, they even have, basically, we call them snails here, but they're basically escargot, but nobody fed them that way. You can do the same thing, and lemon and butter and all that. But most people just look and say, hey, if a restaurant does it, it's different. But to look at that, before you do anything, it just kind of, I think that here we just have it with slugs and snails and that kind of stuff. There's a lot to live on if there's ever a major disaster and no food markets available. But I think a lot of people wouldn't do it.
I don't think a lot of people would either. I think that's the hardest part about it, is that's what we're going to see here pretty soon, is there's going to be a lot of people who do not know how to do anything. There'll be a lot of us who know how to do a lot of things, and we just have to hope that the balance doesn't shift to where they want to take over, because it's like, look, you're kind of helpless out there on your own. It's kind of like the story of Henny Penny. Like, we sat, we planted our grain, we watched it grow, we took it down, we ground it, we made bread, and now everybody wants the bread. And I have no problem sharing my bread, but you're not going to take my loaf. You know what I mean? That's kind of my philosophy. I don't mind sharing my bread, but you cannot take the loaf.
Yep.
Right. And especially if there's kids involved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't share my loaf because I have children. So I will cut your hand off over my loaf, over my kids. Over me, I might share, but my kids, cut your hand off.
Damn.
I'm sorry, it's my babies. They're babies. I got to protect the baby.
I've got yard and garden, and it's kind of like, most guys that are out there, it's kind of like, then you get your butt in the yard and take this shovel or this pitchfork and start cleaning more rows to get them ready.
Yep.
To start planting in 3 months if you want to eat anything.
Yeah.
Work first. I'd be tough.
Well, I saw this guy, Rob Greenwood, who is connected to Free Seed Project, which I highly recommend everybody share that next year when they ask for people to sign up again. But he lived for a whole year off what he could forage. And he ended up moving to Florida to do this. And he had a front yard garden that he basically shared with the neighborhood and let anybody come and take whatever they wanted. And he had like banana trees and mango trees and just all these things. And he said throughout the year, he ended up foraging over 320 different varieties of plants.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I thought that was awesome.
Does that. Yeah. Yeah. He even made an earth stove or oven.
Yeah, I just thought that was really cool that he was able to survive for a whole year and then was able to also start gardens for other people. He helped like single moms start gardens and,
Cool.
Just kind of showing people you could live off the land. And he did not go to a grocery store for a year.
Oh.
And that was pre-COVID.
Well, I put the little pitch park just right up against me, cyclone fence, and I walk over with grapes that I've just picked, but I still have the main branch there. So it, the grape clusters are hanging on it. Take it over, and here's these little toddlers, and I tell their mothers, show them where the grapes come from, and let them eat some grapes, and see where their food comes from. I love, I do that, and
oh, that's wonderful. And I'm sure those kids will have those memories of eating the neighbor's grapes, all their life,
Well.
Right. And, the other side is the garden along the other street with, has garden fence along, keeps Sherman in, protecting it. But people walk their kids by there and kids in strollers, and they can go see my flowers and my vegetables and trellises and how I've got squash growing up them and beans and which they don't get to see anymore. You know,
No, most people don't. I mean, this year we've had a resurgence in gardens, but as far as like, you know, seeing a garden in action and seeing a gardener, that's more rare.
more people are starting
Ooh, hot bacon dressing. That sounds
to come
good.
by.
Damn.
Yeah, definitely. I figure, because I'm on 2.25 city lots, and it's the old-fashioned big lots, not the new small lots. And this house in this yard got my family through the Great Depression, the fruit trees and things on it. So, and I've got a root cellar that my grandmother put all, you know, they kept sauerkraut down there, and they canned fruit and vegetables, and they stored apples and things down there with layers of straw and mint plants, because mint drives any rodents or anything away, so they won't go in and chew on your yeah, they taught me all of that old stuff in the time I was little. So I don't do it all, but I know how to do it. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, that is really neat. I mean, you know, that's why it's important to preserve some of these things that we've forgotten about and just kind of bring a resurgence of what was.
Well, I want people to see it, at least in my neighborhood. And it's a very, very neighborhood, you know, like a Leave It to Beaver kind of neighborhood, you know, in this part of town. And people walk their kids, and they put them on strollers. They walk their dogs, especially now that, you know, COVID has happened. They're just, you know, they're doing that stuff again. And so they go by and see it, and the kids see this, and they see a big yard that's not all landscaped with, you know, beauty bark and, you know, shrubs that, you know, came from other states, because that's what landscapers do. And they're seeing flowers that you can eat, and vegetables and prune trees and all of that kind of stuff. And and my riding lawnmower, which it seems like all the little boys like, that my candy apple red lawnmower. They're over there. They're pulling their mothers away from the play equipment over to because look at the riding, look at her, and the lawn tractor over there mowing the lawn and stuff. Yeah, I march to a different drummer. Definitely.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, I have lots of fun.
You have to in this world at this point.
Yeah, I make my own fun.
And we're going to be talking about why tonight, because that's important.
Oh, good.
Yes.
That's not too much.
There's
longer. Are you?
Yeah, no, I'm getting ready. That is not too much longer. Basically, we'll be rebooting here after we're done.
Yep.
All right. Well, on that note, you want to go because it's going on 10.
Yeah, it's gonna be that time. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready, and then we got lots to talk about tonight.
I'll be sure I'll listen in. I'll fall asleep listening to you.
Well, you'll have sweet dreams.
Nice ones to listen to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As long as she doesn't snap.
Yeah, that's a good point. But that'll probably be in the beginning of the show, so.
Well, then good night, everybody.
All right. Good night, Bonnie. Thanks for calling in, as usual.
Okay. Thank you for putting up with me.
Oh, of course.
Bye-bye.
Anytime. Bye-bye.
We love Bonnie. It's not even putting up with her. We enjoy her.
Yeah, but she looks at it that way. So I wish more people would call in.
I wish they would too. A lot of people lurk. I think people are just afraid to, communicate, but it's like, we won't bite you. You can be our friend too.
I will. I bite.
Do you bite?
With a little.
Okay.
It's
not hard.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, nibbling is, I don't know if that's biting then. That's play bites, right?
Yep.
I get it.
All right. Well, you want to give some teasers what you're going to talk about now on the show real quick, or did you do that already?
I will actually.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about the hurricane implications of that, where it's going. The two other storms behind this hurricane that we're watching. Okay. We're going to be talking about an article that came out of Forbes magazine yesterday, as well as we've been talking about, everybody kind of knows we've been talking about Crestone and things like that, and how kind of awakened Red's area is to some of these, intolerances in the world. Well, today Red was handed a flyer. Well, I think it was Peanut Gallery, but still, doesn't matter. Red got a hold of this flyer that has a website on it. I went to the website, and it's a whole website about, and I won't give away too much, but basically it's a consortium of people who have kind of put out a message to the world, is the best thing I can, short version, put that.
Okay.
And then that goes along with the article from Forbes. So we can kind of see the propaganda that they're going to be spreading and pushing on us in the future. So it's kind of like a look before the look. We're seeing that they're placing the seeds in place to make this a reality, what they posted on Forbes.
Got it.
So that's what we're going to be talking about with that, because it got me pretty riled up. I'm not going to lie.
Uh-oh.
That's why I said in the beginning of the show, I cannot guarantee no snapping, because this article literally enrages me.
Oh my God.
And it irritates my soul.
And is Dwayne going to be on with you, or just?
Dwayne's at work.
Okay. All right. Good.
So it's going to be Red. It's going to be me and Red.
Well, good. That'll keep you in check a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, Red's my best friend, so I don't know. That leaves more rooms for shenanigans, I feel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Red's my real life best friend, if you didn't know that.
No, I didn't. I learned something again.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Red is my real life best friend. Like, no, we're real life best friends. We talk every day. I know everything about her. She knows everything about me. Like, we're best friends. Like, we claim each other as our best friends. We have friend mugs.
That's awesome.
We have friend mugs. They're so cool. They're the best thing ever. They make me so happy. Like, look. Hold on. Let's see it. Look.
Oh, wow.
Scarlet and Red. Hold on. Damn it, camera. Where are you? Okay. See,
It's Bass
Scarlet
Ackford.
and Red.
Yeah. There you go.
God damn it.
You got to do
There
it
we go.
in the direction. Yeah, that's cool. I see that.
Yeah, Scarlet and Red. And then I have a drink. And Red has the peace sign.
Nice.
So that's our friend mug.
Far out.
So.
Very cool.
Because we had a joke about friend cards. Because there was one time a story that was talking about a chick who like killed her best friend, and she was like, "Oh, my best friend," and we were like, "Nope, stop right there. If you kill me, you are no longer my best friend."
Well, yeah, no shit.
Like,
you're dead.
Not only that, but the girl who killed her was like, "But my best friend, no, you don't get to claim me as a best friend anymore, ma'am. Like, you killed me. Like, we are no longer best friends. Like, you kind of lost your friend card when you killed me." So that's always been like the inside joke.
It's a prerequisite. You can't kill me.
Right. And then you get your friend card revoked. So we said that we were going to start to have friend cards so that if people started to act crazy, you could revoke them. So then you could be like, "Look, this bitch killed me. She didn't have a friend card." Like, see, so that's always been the inside joke. So that's why we got friend mugs, because then they became like our friend cards.
Very
but
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They have some sentimental messages. We picked each one for each other. So she has the one that I picked for her, and I have the one that she picked for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's best friends forever, never apart, maybe in distance, but never in heart.
BFF, I'm sure.
Yeah, she is my BFF. Yes, she's my best friend. So, yeah, me and Red, best friend. So, like, people let me tell you about my best friend. That's me and Red.
Well, you're lucky.
So that's why we do the show together, and that's why it does well, because, just two friends.
Well, you won't have a guy to fight over to destroy your friendship, because you're both married, right?
Exactly. Yep. So no dude fights. None of that.
Right there.
Yeah, and Red's a little bit older than me too, so she's like more mellow in her life. She's over 40, so she's like, "I don't have time for this shit," and I don't have time for this shit. So we fit very well. Yeah. Like, whereas younger people my age still try to be on scandalous garbage at times.
No drama zone.
Exactly. I don't like drama. That's just not me. And so I like to stay away from it. Other people like to run towards it, but nope, in my circle, drama is not allowed.
I run away from it as fast as I can.
Yeah, I don't want to be a part of it. No. Because drama sucks you in, and people who usually say, "Oh, I'm not drama," oh, they're fucking drama.
not drama. You're drama, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. No, they're fucking drama, and I know it. Because that's why they're trying to deflect it. They're trying to let you know.
Right. Yeah, shove it back on you.
That's why I don't say anything. So
no, thank you.
Yep, so that's what we'll be talking about tonight. So everybody join me.
What, drama?
I know you guys will anyway. I know Pam and Bonnie will.
Yeah, maybe I'll turn on I never listened to yeah, I guess I could through YouTube.
Yeah, you can. Oh yeah, through YouTube or yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll have my little cell phone there and I'll go night night and listen to you guys.
Yeah.
Except
That's what my honey usually does in 10 minutes. He's like asleep.
until
And I was like, what was the show about? I don't know. Like, you didn't even listen to the show.
Jeez. Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah, it's required listening, like in my home. No, he actually likes listening to the show though.
Cool.
Yeah, so I mean, he will actually listen, but I just won't allow him to listen when I'm in his presence because I can't listen to myself. I can't.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm not crazy about it myself.
No, even though I used to sing and I was in plays and all these other things, like I just do not think my voice sounds good. I just don't. And so hearing it sounds to me like nails on a chalkboard. So I just don't like listening to it.
Unless you're a narcissist and fool yourself, that's how most people are. That's why people don't want to talk, actually.
Yes, because they're probably afraid. Yeah.
Like, that's me.
I was nervous as shit my first show that I ever did. But like you and I have done this for so long now that honestly it's just like second nature getting on.
I should fish through the archives on Block Talk Radio and Freedom Riser Radio. Oh my
and
God.
go pull out an old one. Yeah, they're still all there. I'm sure.
Yeah, they're there. And I'm like, oh my God, this is awful.
I know, so, but I've had some good shows too. I mean, But I've also but you never know. One thing I want to say about people who don't call in, one thing to remember is you never know when the impact of your call can make a difference.
Yes.
I was once a caller on the Alex Jones show many years ago. And when I was a caller on the Alex Jones show, I talked about a few different things, including like TSA searching me when I was a minor, which I found out later was illegal, that you cannot search a minor. But I was physically searched, hands in my bra, all down my pants, all types of stuff. And so I talked to Alex Jones and, got him all riled up, of course. At the end of my call, he goes, you know what? We're going to start the 4th hour of Overdrive again. And this was like during the years where he had stopped Overdrive and where he wasn't doing that 4th hour.
Uh-huh.
And after that call, and it was maybe like, could be even 5 or 6 years ago now. After that call, he started doing the 4th hour again and never stopped. So I am the reason that Alex Jones has the 4th hour of Overdrive.
Wow.
And I will give myself credit for that because he said, we're bringing it back because of this caller. She got me amped up to really think about that. And we need that 4th hour. And he just went off about it. So I am the reason that Alex Jones has the 4th. So you never know when your call can make a difference, you guys. So that's the one thing I wanted to say. So you may think that you can't make a difference, but if I wouldn't have called in and waited and been scared on the phone to call Alex Jones, he would have never started his 4th hour of his program back up. Maybe he would have eventually, but since that day, he's never stopped doing a 4th hour.
And there you have it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can thank Scarlett for the 4th hour of the Alex Jones Show.
Thank you. Presented by, made possible by Scarlet Anonymous. Thank you.
The way I got doing my own gig was being a smartass in the chat room, and then calling in, and then proof asking me if I wanted my own show, and I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went from troll to host. I like that.
Yes, I did. No, I
You had to be pretty convincing to get proof to be like, all right, come on.
Oh yeah, and I even went to his house and met, and I didn't stay at his house, but I went there and I think he had one of those Soda Stream machines because I think he was selling them or something.
Right.
Just him and my
I
wife
can see that.
went over there and was one of his sponsors at the time. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, he just out of the blue, because I was being such a smartass in a chat room and then cracking everybody up, and it kind of like detracted from the
Taking over the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And proof is not one for that. So he's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Right. So, and then I'd call in, I was a little bit nervous or whatever. To be perfectly honest, I'm not nervous doing the show, and I never am, but I'm nervous when I call in to someone else's show.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Truth. It is weird.
Yeah. Cause I don't know why, because maybe you don't know where it's going to go, or quite honestly, you don't have control of the conversation because you got to be respectful. It's not your show.
True. Yeah, you don't know what the rules are. It is harder because you don't want to present a way that their listeners may not accept you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you don't want to steer the conversation because like, oh, you called in on my show and you took over. It's like, oh, okay, fuck you. I'm gonna call in again. Sorry.
Right.
It's really, you gotta be respectful, I guess is the best word to say it.
And that's hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. Yeah. But see, me, I don't care. I you can talk about whatever you want. You call in here, Bonnie calls in here, whoever. I don't really care. It's not about, you're not going to say what I want you to say or steer you to what I want to say. I whatever the hell you want. I don't care. I really don't. So I want people to feel comfortable.
Yeah, I want it to feel like, I always tell people when I book them, or even when I just ask random people to come on my show, I said, I want it to feel like a conversation between friends. So take it no differently than being on a phone call with a friend.
Right. Sunday, it's been a long time since I've done an interview, and I'm going to interview Margarita and Dave from Edge of Paradise band.
Oh, what time do you do that?
I think I got to check my phone again. I think it's 7 Mountain Time. It's either 6 Mountain Time or 7 Mountain Time. I think 7 Mountain Time because I told them that would make it 6 for them because they're in LA.
Right. Okay, yep. And that's probably about right because, then me and Red come on at 9 Mountain Time.
Yeah. But,
correct.
I have a whole rigmarole, and I'm like, I kind of intimidated.
I'm so excited for you. This has been a long time coming.
Yes, I know. It's been 3 years, actually.
I know, and you've been asking them to come on forever, so I'm so excited that they'll finally be on, and we get to hear from them, and
she's
get
great.
to learn about their music, and
she's so sweet and talented, and just she's great. She's really, really a great, bright,
I love it.
soul. She's great.
Yeah, I have to listen to some of their music. I don't think I have before.
Yeah, it's just Edge of Paradise, and their newest album's Universe. They're already, since they have, I should let them talk, but since COVID-19 shit's going on, their tour got canceled and everything, so now they're writing more music. Because what else are you going to do? That's what I want to interview them about. It's like, so, how are you guys dealing with this shit, and what have you been doing? And I'm sure they're going to say, because I've seen their post, that they're writing music for their next album.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to, a lot of places have been taking, how I told you, like, we're going to start going to the drive-in. A lot of places have been doing drive-in concerts. Like Garth Brooks did one last month.
I saw
and
it in Illinois.
You could pay like $100 a car.
Yep.
And you could go watch this like 2-hour concert.
Yep.
3-hour concert.
He did it in Illinois. I had a friend on Facebook. Her and her
daughter.
Yeah,
and people said they loved it.
Yep. I know.
And so I forget what other artist was doing one this month too, but I wonder if more bands won't start doing something like that, doing like maybe like outdoor venues that would have been otherwise like summer concerts, but you could do maybe like a visual type, I don't know, or maybe this is when they start busting out that hologram technology because they do have that.
Yeah, we'll get to see Michael Jackson again. on tour.
Right. Like, because they had already brought out like Tupac and all that, but maybe they start using like a hologram in an outdoor venue or something. I don't know what you do for wintertime, but you
Lose
know.
your mind. Very good.
Exactly. Less overhead doing it at a drive-in. And if it's already recorded, or if you do it live where you can get them like a live stream link somehow and then have them, put it up on their projector. And there's ways that you could maybe even do it interactively if you could do it right.
Yep.
And do it really in a fun way. So there's got to be something for music, though, because
Oh, God, I hope so.
what do we do? Yeah, no venues, no shows, no concerts, no movies, music. What happens to music? It doesn't die, but what shape does it form?
I don't know, because if you talk to any musician, they live and die to be playing in front of their audience in concert.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what the big, that's what it's all for. That's all the work you do.
Right.
So it sucks. Yeah, I don't know how that changes the music industry, but I'll be interested to see how that goes. But
yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to take call. Well, you can come in. You can come in on this because I'm only going to have one phone line. But yeah, I mean,
right.
Feel free to come in. I don't give a shit. I mean, the more.
No, I'll listen to some of their music and then.
Yeah.
I'll do some little background and then, come in and
she's got
talk to them.
Her voice is opera. She did sing opera and she went over to rock and roll.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. She's got a great soprano, probably 4-octave range voice. It's nuts. It's crazy. So, but yeah. You muted yourself. Because the kids are out of control. What?
Yes, because kids are getting out of control and running around talking about her blanket. So let me find her blanket. Then we'll restart the show. Everybody just refresh. Give me a couple minutes and I'll be right back. So I'm out of here. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. I'll be listening on Sunday.
Okay. All right. Go play mom. Okay.
Yep.
Gotta go. All right. So I'm going to end the show. Thanks. I'm going to mute her mic. So, or did I cheat? No, I just did. All right. So thanks everybody for listening. And the second time around, after I threw myself, mezzo soprano, is that what she is? I don't know. She could be, well, depending on the range, she could be an alto. Excuse me. Regardless, she's just got a phenomenal voice. So it'll be fun. And Dave's a phenomenal guitarist, educated. I'm sure I'm going to ask him all about that. And whatever else. So anybody got any questions, put them in the chat room. And then any of the hosts can come on through SteamYard if I don't cancel the show accidentally again. And just come on in and be part of the conversation. The more the merrier. So, all right, guys, have a good night. I will be back Sunday. I'm pretty sure at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I better double check that. Let me see. Where the hell's Messenger at? There you are. La, 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 la. Who, me? Who's an old soul? Me? Red and I? There you are. There you two are. So, okay, next Sunday at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. What time? Stupid ass. 6 p.m. their time. 7 p.m. Sunday night for sure. I just confirmed it. So, y'all have a great night. I'll see you Sunday night. We'll just all have a good old time dating our sister and talking music, okay? See you later. Have a great night. You have been listening to the original Red Pill Show, comrade. Yeah. 9.